What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. Seafood Trio joined the Summit Battle First Chapter 1 Create a Legend, you gave me the whole SpongeBob SquarePants? See Circle Calendar 1520. The Fishmen Island, Dragon Palace City. Report to your Highness Neptune. The patrolling soldiers discovered a city inhabited by murlocs in a deep trench thousands of kilometers away from the Fishmen Island. Words fall, Neptune jumped up from his throne, showing an unquestionable look, he asked. How is it possible? How can a city be built in a deep trench under the sea? To know the reason why the murlocs of the Fishmen Island can live on the bottom of the sea. Mainly because the Fishmen Island is protected by a giant double-layered bubble wrap shield. But the deep trenches on the seabed are not only not protected by bubble film. It is a place without sunshine. How could there be a city in that place? This is simply ridiculous, seeing Neptune react so violently. The guard on the side spoke again, Your Highness Neptune, a city has really been built in the deep trench of the sea. And, they claim not to be the people of the Fishmen Island. Not a citizen of the Fishmen Island? Neptune was stunned, his mind full of strange question marks. Could it be that there are new murlocs? I don't know, the guard shook his head, those guys claim to be residents of Beechburg. Beechburg? Neptune frowned slightly, after pacing back and forth in the Kingdom Hall for a few laps, he opened his mouth and said. Go get ready, I'm going to visit Beechburg in person. But His Majesty the King. Before the guard could finish speaking, Neptune raised his hand and interrupted. I know your concern, but this is a very important matter. It doesn't matter whether there are new murlocs or the people of the Fishmen Island are messing around. As a king, I must understand this matter clearly. At the same time, South Blue, Crystal Island. Outside a slightly dilapidated tavern, Al lay lazily on the rocking chair. A look of comfort. Ding, it has been detected that Bikini Castle has been discovered, and the mysterious creation system is being activated, please wait a moment. With the cold mechanical sound, Al was full of bewilderment, and then slapped his head violently, showing an expression of ecstasy. Since traveling to this world 10 years ago, Al got the system. But just when he was planning to rely on the system to reach the pinnacle of his life. But I found that I had to complete a novice task to activate the system. Advertisement in this novice task is to find the systematically arranged bikini fort. Al thought it was just a simple novice task, but the truth is far from being as simple as he thought. Because of this dog system, didn't tell Al where the beach fort was at all. Not to mention telling him what Beechburg is, after all, this is Pirate World. It can't be the whole bikini bot in SpongeBob SquarePants, right? That would be too abstract, so, Al always thought Beechburg was an island. Or the name of a city, and Al has just traveled here and is only 10 years old. Wanting to go to sea is simply nonsense, over time. Al also gave up on the idea of finding Bikini Bottom. Even the existence of the system is gradually forgotten. If it wasn't for the sound of the system ringing again. Al really planned to open a tavern in South Blue and live out the rest of his life. The activation of the mysterious creation system is complete. As the cold mechanical sound sounded again, a paragraph about the system introduction slowly emerged in Al's mind. Mysterious creation system. Host can create mysterious legends in this world, close black lens bracket. When the mysterious legend created is accepted and recognized by the world, you can get creation points, close black lens bracket. Create points can be used to purchase props in the point store and draw prizes, close black lens bracket. Create a mysterious legend. Al froze for a moment and couldn't help frowning. Creating mysterious legends. To put it bluntly, isn't it just making up stories to fool people? But on second thought, even now Bikini Bot has been discovered. But if no one breaks the news, so how else does he rely on Bikini Bottom to write mysterious legends? You can't go to the newspaper office to make up stories with those reporters, can you? At that time, the legend of BB Kibao had not been created. His own legend is spreading wildly, while Al was thinking. Suddenly, I found that the words in my mind had changed. What kind of evil pen system, can't you give a notification sound? With a helpless groan in my heart, Al then turned his attention to the text. In view of the fact that the host has completed the novice task, the system will distribute the novice gift package in 9 seconds. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host for getting the novice gift package, is it open? Close black lens bracket. Without the slightest hesitation, advertisement Al decisively chooses to open it. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host for getting 150 mysterious points. Close black lens bracket. Gone? That's it? The unbelieving Al waited a moment longer. After confirming that there are only 150 mysterious points. Suddenly his face turned green. When others get cheats through time travel, they are rewarded a lot. He is fine. After waiting for 10 years, but only 150 mysterious points? This shit is even better than Mi Huyu, casually spit a few words. Al sighed helplessly. Although this dog system does buckle, it's better than nothing. Thinking of this, Al immediately turned on the system and went straight to the lottery draw. However, when he saw the mysterious points needed for the lottery draw. Immediately furious. 160 points for one draw, why don't you die? After complaining, Al puts his last hope in the point store again. Fortunately, because it is the first time to spend at the point store. All items are 10% off, but Al couldn't be happier. It's just because these props are not affordable for Al now. just when Al was angrily about to exit the points store. But I was shocked to find that there are super specials. Special offer. Intermediate Mysterious Creation Material Gift Pack. You can get 3 character creation materials, close black lens bracket. Required price, 100 mysterious points. Close black lens bracket. Ponder for a moment. Al decisively bought the middle-level Mysterious Creation Material Gift Pack. Open black lens bracket purchased successfully. Close black lens bracket. As a text pops up, Al's mind once again came up with a passage of text. Because host only unlocked the Bikini Bot template, so only the Bikini Bot characters can be obtained. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host for winning the 3 friends of Beachcomber, SpongeBob SquarePants, Patrick, and Squidward. Close black lens bracket. What the hell? Looking at the words in front of me. Al is full of strange question marks? Create a legend. What the hell are you giving me the whole SpongeBob SquarePants? Chapter 2 Creating Seafood 3 Admiral. There was a full tens of minutes of silence. Al was reluctant to accept reality, but how can I use SpongeBob SquarePants and Bikini Bottom to invent a convincing and acceptable legend? But it really stumped Al. Every time I think of a yellow square standing in front of a group of vicious pirates, laughing and shouting, "Let's catch jellyfish," Al felt a headache. I really can't figure it out. Al introduced the system to him and studied it carefully. I don't know the result, just look at it and scold for a day. Dog the Sun's system, can you be a little bit more doggy? Looking at the text at the bottom of the system introduction, which looks like fine lines, Al couldn't hold back anymore, even for a moment. Al has the idea of giving up on the system directly. But as a traveler, it would be a lie to say that I have no ambition to do great things in my heart. Take a deep breath. Al suppressed the dissatisfaction in his heart. Put your eyes on the fine lines of text. Open black lens bracket. Host can consume material characters and modify the specified world template arbitrarily. Close black lens bracket. The modified material characters and world templates will all change according to the content modified by the host. Close black lens bracket. P.S. Host's modification of the material world requires sufficient logic, otherwise it will not be able to modify. Close black lens bracket. As long as it is reasonable, can you change everything directly? After reading the system prompts, the dissatisfaction in Al's heart dissipated like a cloud of smoke in an instant. Immediately afterwards, prompted by the system, Al called up the template about Bikini Bottom. Beechburg. An ordinary town built in a deep trench on the seabed. Close black lens bracket. Is the introduction only that short? After Al complained? Advertisement. Then modify Beechburg at the prompt of the system. World template. Beechburg. Close black lens bracket. Start to modify. Close black lens bracket. 1,000 years ago, in the dark deep trench of the sea, there was a huge super technological city named Beechburg. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The purpose of Bikini Castle is to protect the devil fruit grown on the devil tree from being eaten by anyone. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But one day 1,000 years ago, close black lens bracket, scientists at Beechburg have developed a mysterious potion that will not be cursed even if you eat devil fruit. Close black lens bracket. In order to find out the truth, the scientist conducted a human experiment with his own body and achieved success. Close black lens bracket. Later, in order to gain the power of devil fruit, scientists started a huge war in Beechburg. Close black lens bracket. This war has led to the destruction of Beechburg. Close black lens bracket. In order to prevent such incidents from happening again, close black lens bracket. The surviving residents of Beechburg destroy the devil tree and seal up all civilizations, and at the same time, no one is allowed to leave Beechburg. Close black lens bracket. And this decision also caused Beechburg to lose contact with the outside world, and eventually evolved into a world of strong men who are respected only by force. Close black lens bracket. That should be fine, right? Al stroked his chin. I admire my masterpiece repeatedly. Soon, the system's icy voice sounded. Analyzing world template. Logical conformity, harmonious conformity. World template fusion in progress. The fusion is complete, and it is detected that there are still 3 material roles for the host to use. In the face of systematic questions, Al chose to use it without hesitation. After all, just completed the modification of Bikini Bottom. Now is the time for inspiration. Material role, SpongeBob SquarePants, close black lens bracket. Modification in progress. Close black lens bracket. In the Great War 1,000 years ago, close black lens bracket. In order to seize the Devil's Tree, scientists used cloning technology to create a terrifying human weapon, and named it SpongeBob SquarePants, close black lens bracket. In order to strengthen the power of SpongeBob SquarePants, scientists have successfully copied the uncursed shining fruit through unremitting efforts. Close black lens bracket. SpongeBob SquarePants, who has obtained the ability of flashing fruit, kills all directions on the battlefield, and is known as the most evil and terrifying weapon in the world. Close black lens bracket. During the endless killings, SpongeBob met a lifelong best friend, and with the help of his best friend, he turned his back on the dark and turned to the bright, and joined the Beechburg Guard Army. Close black lens bracket. From then on, there is no human weapon in Beechburg, only the flashing Admiral Huang Mian. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement, analyzing material roles. Logical fit, rapport fit. Material character fusion in progress. Perfect. The corner of Al's mouth drew a curve. seems very happy with the results of this modification. At first, Al planned to let SpongeBob eat the mysterious potion and the shining fruit directly. But helplessly, the system prompts a violation. However, this does not affect the final modification result. The fusion is complete, and it is detected that there are still 2 material roles for the host to use. Use. Material role. Brother Octopus. Close black lens bracket, modification in progress, close black lens bracket. Brother Octopus, who was born in a musical family, has a very high attainment in music since he was a child, close black lens bracket. But the sudden outbreak of war caused Squidward to be severely injured, and he lost his sense of music ever since, close black lens bracket. For revenge, Brother Squid joined the Beechburg Guard army, and continued to become stronger during the war, close black lens bracket. However, in a battle with the human weapon SpongeBob SquarePants, Brother Octopus was unfortunately seriously injured, close black lens bracket. On the way to escape, Brother Squid accidentally broke into the scientist's laboratory and got the copied frozen fruit from it, close black lens bracket. The strength of Squidward, who has obtained the frozen fruit ability, has greatly increased, close black lens bracket. Not only blocked the army of SpongeBob SquarePants many times, close black lens bracket. He also saved SpongeBob with his best friend, close black lens bracket. Afterwards, the name of ruthless Admiral Chingchong resounded throughout Beechburg, close black lens bracket. It should be no problem, Al yawned. Long-term consumption of brain cells has caused him to be a little tired now. But fortunately, the system did not detect anomalies. Analyzing material roles. Logical fit, rapport fit. Material character fusion in progress. The fusion is complete, and it is detected that the host still has a material role to use. Facing system inquiries, Al hesitated for a few seconds. Choose to continue again. Chapter 3 Neptune. Aokiji Ancestor? Are you kidding me? Material role. Pi Daxing. Close black lens bracket, modification in progress, close black lens bracket. The Starfish family has been the royal family of Beechburg since ancient times. In addition to the noble blood, their physical fitness is several times stronger than ordinary people, close black lens bracket. And Pi Daxing is the leader of the Starfish family. He has shown extraordinary talent since he was a child, and he is known as the #1 genius in Beechburg. Close black lens bracket. As the war started, Pi Daxing was ordered to lead the army to crusade against scientists, who was betrayed by spies in an operation and was captured, close black lens bracket. In order to take advantage of Pi Daxing's talent, scientists brainwashed Pi Daxing and gave him the copied lava fruit, close black lens bracket. After being brainwashed, Pi Daxing lost all his emotions and became a new human weapon to replace SpongeBob SquarePants, close black lens bracket. In the endless killing, Pi Daxing got deeper and deeper, and finally even scientists couldn't control it, close black lens bracket. In order to destroy Pi Daxing, scientists told SpongeBob SquarePants how to destroy Pi Daxing, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, scientists underestimated the friendship between SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick, close black lens bracket. In order to save Pi Daxing, SpongeBob and his best friends have gone through countless hardships. Finally found a way to save Pi Daxing in a mysterious place, close black lens bracket. Although Pi Daxing was successfully rescued, due to the excessive killing, Pi Daxing's character was extremely extreme and radical, close black lens bracket. In order not to endanger Bikini Castle again, Pi Daxing resolutely decided to freeze himself with technology, and he was not able to unblock it until 900 years later, close black lens bracket. Since then, the name of Lava Admiral Red Star has been passed down from ancient times, close black lens bracket. Analyzing material roles. Logical fit, rapport fit. Material character fusion in progress. The 3 material characters have been fused, close black lens bracket. Finally the torment is over. Al took a basin of water and washed his face. Then lie down in the rocking chair, waiting with anticipation. 3 Seafood Admiral made up by myself, a long time. Al, who sensed something was wrong, couldn't help but frowned. From the end of his modification to the present, an hour or 2 has passed. No matter how slow, it won't be gone for an hour or 2. For a while, Al couldn't help wondering, is this dog system playing with itself? At the same time, the seabed tens of thousands of meters deep from the mainland. The light from the giant lanternfish illuminates deep trenches on the ocean floor. Looking at the gradually clear city in sight, Neptune couldn't help showing a horrified expression. Are you kidding me? How can there be creatures that can live in such a place? This is simply unbelievable. In shock, Neptune's pace also quickened accordingly. Just as he was about to enter Beechburg, a figure exuding cold air stood in front of him. Yeah, didn't your parents tell you that you can't leave Beechburg? Looking at the blindfolded eyes, advertisement an octopus wearing a white, justice, coat. A stalwart figure could not help appearing in Neptune's mind. Marine Admiral Aokiji, why are you here? Neptune narrowed his eyes slightly. After looking carefully for a moment, the pitch can't help but raise a lot. No, you're not Aokiji, who the hell are you? Facing Neptune's inquiry. Chingchong yawned, and responded lazily, yeah, yay, kid. You don't think that I'll ignore your sneaking out of Bikini Bottom, do you? When the voice fell to the ground, the guard standing beside Neptune raised his spear vigilantly and warned. Don't be rude to King Neptune. King, Chingchong frowned slightly. inadvertently exuded wisps of cold air, makes the surrounding sea water condense instantly. Neptune saw this, immediately turned pale with shock. An unbelievable idea slowly appeared in his mind. Demon fruit power. No, no, how is this possible? Creatures that eat devil fruit will be abandoned by the sea. This is something everyone knows, and the guy in front of me who looks exactly like Aokiji. If it is really demon fruit power, how is it possible to expose the body to seawater? While thinking, Qingshang also seemed to sense something was wrong. Stretching out his hand and pulling Neptune's beard, he said sharply. You are not residents of Beechburg, who the hell are you? Neptune, whose beard was being pulled by Qingshang, kept screaming in pain. No, stop talking, I am King Neptune from the Fishmen Island. Seeing that Neptune had told everything, Qingshang let go. Yeah, what a troublesome guy. Beechburg prohibits anyone from entering or leaving, get out of here, or I can only say sorry. Facing Qingzhang's expulsion, Neptune was really unwilling. Whether it is a city in darkness, it's still this guy who looks exactly like Aokiji. It was like a huge black mist covering all doubts. If you don't want to solve these mysteries, that's all a lie. Seeing that Neptune still hasn't left, Qingshang seemed to have lost his patience. However, just when Qingshang was about to make a move, Advertisement Neptune suddenly said, Can you tell me, what is the relationship between you and Marine Admiral Aokiji? Sorry, I don't know any Aokiji, if you don't leave. Words fall, Qingzhang's eyes turned cold, the surrounding seawater froze instantly. And under the control of Qingshang, it condensed into a round igloo. Inside the igloo, Qingzhang pointed to the only exit, his tone was extremely cold. Leave, or die. However, Qingzhang's threat did not deter Neptune. On the contrary, it made Neptune more sure, Qingzhang's demonstrated ability. Definitely Logia, the ability to freeze fruit. Please don't do it, I just want to know one thing. Neptune waved his hand hastily, and about Aokiji. Together with his own conjecture, he said it, to know. The life conceived by the combination of a female murloc and a male human must be human. In this case, you can come up with a hypothesis. Suppose Aokiji's mother is a murloc and his father is a human. It is not difficult to rule out Aokiji and Qingshang. It's a half-brother, after expressing his conjecture. Neptune stood aside and waited for Qingzhang's response. If this assumption holds true, that blue chapter is Aokiji's brother. With this level of relationship, he can continue to ask about Bikini Bottom. And all the puzzles of Qingshang. However, Qingshang listened to Neptune's conjecture. All of a sudden, strange question marks filled my mind. What is this all about? He is a murloc who lived 900 years ago. How is it possible to be brothers with a human being after 900 years? Based on what you're saying, there's absolutely no way I and that so-called Marine Admiral Aokiji are brothers. Qingzhang rejected Neptune's guess without hesitation. Why would you say so? Neptune was very puzzled. After all, his conjecture is not unfounded, however, what Qingshang said next. It directly refreshed Neptune's three views, because if it follows your guess. I can only be the ancestor of Aokiji. Chapter 4 Sengoku. Aokiji, you may not believe me, I found your ancestor. Ancestor? Are you sure you're not kidding me? Neptune tore his voice, unbelievable face, but Qingshang said indifferently. You have finished asking the question, you can leave. No one is allowed to enter or leave Bikibao, this is the rule. Seeing that Qingzhang's attitude is still so tough, Neptune sighed helplessly. In that case, I won't bother you anymore. After finishing speaking, Neptune led his men to turn around and prepare to leave. The guards at the side saw that Neptune was depressed. So he said, Your Highness Neptune, the court band is coming soon. You might as well wait until the band is over before visiting Beechburg. Yes, as long as you come a few more times, maybe. Before the guard finished speaking, Qingshang behind him suddenly coughed twice and interrupted. The court band is. Ahem, I'm sorry, please leave quickly. As he spoke, Qingzhang subconsciously put the back of his hand behind his back. Showing a hesitant look, seeing this, Neptune suddenly said, Want to enjoy the performance of the court band? Are you kidding me? Qingzhang pouted, subconsciously leaning towards Neptune. I'm not interested in bands or anything. Well, I'm not interested at all. Although Qingshang said he didn't care, but the distance is getting closer and closer to Neptune. Neptune's eyes lit up when he saw this situation. Dang even invited Qingshang. Yeah, what a headache. Qingshang made an embarrassing look, reluctantly. Since you have invited me so kindly, if I refuse again, that would make me appear a little unreasonable. Words fall, Qingzhang flashed to the front, turned around and urged. What are you still doing stupidly? Let's go. I risked my life to accompany the gentleman, so don't waste my time. After all, I don't want to be blamed by some guys. Neptune and the guards looked at each other, then he showed a speechless smile. Along the way, Neptune and Qingshang explained a lot about the Fishmen Island. Advertisement, but Qingshang has no interest in it. At this time I just want to know the level of music in the outside world. How high is it? Not long. Qingshang followed Neptune to the Dragon Palace. Just got off the passenger flounder, not waiting for Neptune to settle the green badge. Was informed by his subordinates, a marine ship encountered an underwater vortex. Now marine soldiers are recuperating in Dragon Palace City. Neptune didn't take it seriously after hearing this. After all, this isn't the first time this has happened. After a few simple instructions, Neptune brought the green badge to the main hall of Dragon Palace City. King Neptune, thank you very much, just entered the hall. Marine soldiers training here, they all stood up and expressed their great thanks to Neptune. However, before Neptune opened his mouth to respond, the leader, Colonel Marine, suddenly let out a light snort. Aokiji Admiral, why are you here? Xinjiang glanced at Colonel Marine and said in a cold tone. I'm not some Aokiji, I'm his ancestor, words fall. Before Colonel Marine could react, Xinjiang has pulled Neptune away. Only the Marine soldiers were left looking at each other in the hall. Did I hear you right? That guy claims to be the ancestor of Aokiji Admiral? Looking at the appearance, it is indeed very similar to Aokiji Admiral. Could it be? That guy is really the ancestor of Aokiji Admiral? Stop kidding, idiot. If that guy is really the ancestor of Aokiji Admiral, how could he be alive to this day? Just when everyone was arguing, the guard on the side couldn't stand it anymore and said, although we are not particularly clear, but Mr. Xinjiang told His Highness Neptune himself. He can only be the ancestor of Admiral Aokiji. The guard's words exploded in the crowd like thunder on the ground. All Marine soldiers stared at the guards in disbelief. This news is simply unbelievable. Shall we tell headquarters that we found the ancestor of Aokiji Admiral on the Fishman Island? Isn't that nonsense? Such an important matter must be reported. Advertisement. After speaking, Colonel Marine immediately took out the phone bug from his pocket. Moses, I'm Colonel Moss of the G13 unit. I have important news to report to Marshal Sengoku. As the message progresses layer by layer. Marineford, Marine headquarters, inside Marshal Marine's office. Sengoku listened to the report from the other end of the phone bug with a serious face. Are you sure the news is true? Facing Sengoku's inquiry. After a moment of hesitation, Colonel Moss explained. Report to Marshal Sengoku, I'm not 100% sure, but this news came from King Neptune and his guards. Even the ancestor who is suspected of being Aokiji Admiral said so himself. By the way, we also sneaked a photo of Aokiji's ancestor, but it's a bit blurry. After listening to Moss's report, Sengoku has black lines all over his head. What is this all about? Aokiji's ancestor, just when Sengoku fell into doubt. A sailor came to Sengoku with a photo, looking at the photo. A blurry figure with 90% similarity to Aokiji, if it weren't for knowing that Aokiji had just returned from the capital of water. Sengoku would really think that the figure in the photo is Aokiji. This is really surprising news. Sengoku frowned. Seems to be thinking about whether to tell Aokiji about it. After thinking for a long time, Sengoku still intends to tell Aokiji about it. Mainly to maintain the image of Marine, keep Aokiji from malicious people. Make up one's mind, Sengoku immediately ordered someone to call Aokiji over. After a while. Yeah, Marshal Sengoku. Then something important happened to call me here in such a hurry? Aokiji yawned lazily and asked casually, facing Aokiji's inquiry. Sengoku handed the photo to Aokiji with a solemn tone. Kuzan, you may not believe it when you say it. I found your ancestors on the Fishman Island. Chapter 5 Aokiji. Isn't it my ancestor? Who is this starfish? Yeah, Marshal Sengoku's joke is not funny at all. Aokiji did not accept the photo sent by Sengoku, instead, he looked serious. Sengoku was not surprised to see this. After all, no one wants someone to make fun of their ancestors. Calm down first. Sengoku coughed lightly and handed over the photo again. Look at this first. After reading this, I think you will be surprised. This time Aokiji didn't refuse. Instead, he looked at the photo with a puzzled expression. After looking at the photos, the doubt on Aokiji's face became more and more dignified, and he said puzzledly. Marshal Sengoku, is there something wrong with this photo? Seeing that Aokiji didn't notice anything wrong with the photo, Sengoku coughed twice and explained. This photo was uploaded not long ago by Marine, who was temporarily recuperating on the Fishman Island after encountering the submarine vortex. Words fall. Aokiji also heard what Sengoku wanted to express and hurriedly said. How can this be? I can. In a trance, Aokiji seemed to think of something and looked at the photo again. This guy. Is it impossible? See Aokiji showing a look of disbelief. Sengoku nodded, passed Moss's exact words into Aokiji's ears. That's how it happened. To be honest, I didn't want to believe this absurd thing at first. Sengoku reached out his hand, took the photo back, and continued. But this photo is really hard not to make people suspicious. Seeing that Aokiji hesitated to speak, after hesitating for a moment, Sengoku said slowly. Whitebeard and the red-haired Shanks, those two monsters met not long ago. It stands to reason that Marine Admiral is forbidden to leave the headquarters until they have figured out what the two monsters are going to do next. But, Sengoku put his eyes on the photo and said. I'll give you 3 days to investigate this matter as soon as possible. Aokiji hummed lightly, immediately mobilized the warship and secretly left the Marine headquarters. At the same time, the deep trench on the seabed, the periphery of Beechburg. Qingshang, that fellow Huang Mian has something to ask you for. Advertisement. Kai Xing stood coldly at Qingzhang's post and murmured. Where is the person? Could it be that he went to sleep somewhere again? Thinking of this, Kai Xing frowned tightly, and an unknown anger rose in his heart. That guy Qingshang is really bad, complaining. Red Star releases observation hockey to cover the entire Beechburg. After a few moments of searching, Kai Shing frowned even deeper. Just because he searched the whole Beechburg, can't find Qingshang either. In an instant, a bold idea appeared in Qixing's mind. That fellow Qingshang will not leave Beechburg, will he? No, this is absolutely impossible. Although that guy Qingshang can't find any advantages at all, he won't do such a stupid thing. Although Qixing said trust, but the body came to the top of the trench very honestly. Gazing out at the world, Kai Shing suddenly seemed to have noticed something, showing an unbelievable expression. That guy Qingshang has actually left Beechburg. Word off. Qixing's eyes gradually turned scarlet. The surrounding waters, it even made a piercing sizzling sound under the hot lava. However, it has been a long time. Kai Shing still stood where he was, as if he was struggling with something. After all, as long as he takes this step, means. He also broke the rules of Bikini Bottom, but if you don't leave Beechburg. He couldn't bring Qingshang back, it's really infuriating. Qixing clenched his fists angrily, after standing in place for 2 days and 2 nights. Only then did Kai Shing muster up his courage, the first step towards the outside world. The moment I stepped out of Bikini Bottom, a nameless anger rushed straight to his forehead. Qing Zhang, wait for me, boy, at the same time. The Fishmen Island. Mermaid Bay. Aokiji Admiral, it's been a long time since we came to the Fishmen Island. The scenery here is still as beautiful as ever. Advertisement, listening to the exclamation of the marine soldiers. Aokiji said blankly, yeah, now is not the time to care about these boring things. Any news from Moss? Facing Aokiji's inquiry, the marine soldier on the side immediately corrected his attitude and responded seriously. Report to Aokiji Admiral, based on a message from Colonel Moss. The guy who claims to be your ancestor is still in Dragon Palace. Aokiji hummed lightly, yawned and said casually, you wait for me here for a while, and catch the pirates who illegally invaded the Fishmen Island. Yes. Just when Aokiji was about to leave the warship, a figure exuding fiery arrogance suddenly descended from the sky. Qingshang, have you forgotten the rules of Beechburg? Come back with me and be punished, looking at the starfish that looks like a kainu in front of you. All of a sudden, Aokiji and marine soldiers, they all showed an unbelievable look. Aokiji Admiral, I suspect I'm hallucinating, idiot, how could everyone have hallucinations? Since it's not a hallucination, then the guy in front of me is probably a fan of a kainu admiral. It makes sense, then let's continue to catch pirates. After listening to the analysis of marine soldiers, Aokiji also felt that the guy in front of him was probably a fan of a kainu. So he said, yeah, kid, are you lost? Seeing that Aokiji dared to humiliate himself like this. Kai Shing, who was dazzled by anger, immediately shouted angrily. Qingshang, you are too much, at the same time as the roar sounded. The fiery breath is coming, looking at the red star covered in lava. Everyone present showed a horrified expression and exclaimed. A kainu admiral? But Aokiji frowned slightly and murmured. Sakazuki. No, you're not Sakazuki, who the hell are you? However, in response to Aokiji's, only Kai Xing's angry roar. Dark Hound. Chapter 6 Qixing vs Aokiji, Sengoku is numb. At the same time as the angry shouts sounded, the temperature of the entire Mermaid Bay soared rapidly. Next second, Kai Shing stepped forward expressionlessly. The lava-formed arm stretches rapidly, while rushing towards Aokiji. Gradually condensed into a ferocious giant red dog in midair. Kai Shing shot abruptly, as a result, Aokiji was not prepared to defend at all. Plus Dark Hound is incredibly fast, when Aokiji reacted. The ferocious giant red dog has come to him. A strong sense of crisis gushes out like a tide. Straight to the soul and heart, Aokiji Admiral. Be careful. The marine soldiers blown away by the heat wave raised their heads. Make an anxious tearing roar, even if they never saw a kainu at full strength. But that sudden blow full of tyranny, the line of defense in their hearts has already been broken. Boom, a huge explosion exploded in midair, looking at the figure completely hit by the Dark Hound. Everyone present hammered to the ground with tears in their eyes. Damn it. Why a kainu admiral? Why did you lay hands on Aokiji Admiral? Just when everyone was grieving over Aokiji's death. Aokiji's lazy teasing sound came from behind them. Yeah, this is not the place for you to stay. Everyone heard the reputation and looked. I saw Aokiji standing behind them unharmed, before everyone speaks. Aokiji spoke first. Quickly evacuate the area and report what happened here to Marshal Sengoku. Yes. The marine soldiers who received the order got up quickly. While they were evacuating, Chihashi snorted coldly, his eyes fixed on Aokiji coldly. Qingshang. This is the end of the matter, don't you plan to go back to Beechburg with me to be punished? Faced with questioning, Aokiji still maintains the original concept. Didn't I already tell you that you found the wrong person? You guys should stop with enough, however, regarding Aokiji's statement. Kai Shing did not buy it, but sarcastically said, advertisement. A heartless person always fails to realize how heartless he is. A green badge just like you could have a good reputation, but you just want to throw away the glory of the past. You are a sinner in Beechburg, do you understand Qingshang? Kai Shing became more and more excited as he talked. The lava that covers the whole body flows to the ground. Turn the beach within a radius of 100 meters into a crimson hell. I don't want to say anything else anymore. Tell me your choice, Ching Shang. He took the initiative to follow me back to Beechburg to be punished. Or wait until I break your arms and carry you back like a dead dog. For the multiple choice questions thrown by Chixing, Aokiji, who was still in a dazed state, naturally couldn't agree. After all, he didn't even know who this Akainu-like guy was. Let alone Bikini Bottom. Yeah, you really look like Sakazuki. You don't listen to other people's explanations at all. While speaking, Aokiji raised his cold right hand and grabbed a piece of seaweed casually. With the ability to freeze fruit, a sharp ice blade slowly appeared in everyone's sight. Seeing this, Kai Shing didn't say much anymore. A lunge appeared in front of Aokiji across a distance of tens of meters. Fist of lava blows up a gust of evil wind, straight for Aokiji's forehead. See this situation, Aokiji didn't dare to be careless either. While blocking with ice skates, an icicle shot out from the palm, disrupting Qixing's offensive. Looking at the two people fighting fiercely on the battlefield in the distance, the marine soldiers reported everything to Sengoku anxiously. Report to Marshal Sengoku that we have arrived at the Fishman Island. On the other end of the phone, listening to the report of the marine soldiers, Sengoku hummed lightly, then he asked about Aokiji's ancestors. Report to Marshal Sengoku, although we have arrived at the Fishman Island. But so far, we have not met the ancestors of Aokiji Admiral. Instead, I met a murloc with lava fruit ability and very similar appearance to a Kainu Admiral. After listening to the report from the other end of the phone bug, Sengoku froze for a moment, head full of strange question marks. A lava fruit capable user? A murloc resembling a Kainu? Just as Sengoku was about to continue asking, a roaring explosion came from the phone bug, immediately afterwards. Advertisement. The eager voice of the marine soldier sounded again. Report to Marshal Sengoku, Aokiji Admiral is engaged in a fierce battle with that murloc. Oops, something is wrong. The battle between Aokiji Admiral and that murloc has expanded further, run. Listening to the constant explosion of phone bugs, Sengoku couldn't help but a trace of cold sweat flowed from his forehead. Asked anxiously, Moses, are you all right? Moses, as the phone bug keeps ringing with bangs and noises. Sengoku's mood at this time is like riding a roller coaster with ups and downs. After tens of minutes, there was a panting voice from the phone bug. Report to Marshal Sengoku, we are safe for now. Seeing that marine soldiers are not in danger of life for the time being, Sengoku just wanted to breathe a sigh of relief. I heard the report from the marine soldiers again. Although we are safe for the time being, but Aokiji Admiral is in crisis. Words fall. Sengoku couldn't hold back anymore. I hurriedly asked the marine soldiers to use the camera phone bug to pass the pictures over. You must know that the news about the talks between the two monsters in New World has not yet been clarified. And during this critical period, Aokiji, who is the highest combat power of Marine, must not have any accidents. Seeing that the marine soldiers have been slow to speak, Sengoku pressed eagerly, but learned that the camera phone bug accidentally dropped it on the way to escape. Just when the marine soldier apologized for his mistake, the reporter on board who followed them took out a camera phone bug from his pocket and said, I have a spare camera phone bug here, only. Before the reporter on board finished speaking, after the anxious marine soldier said a few words of thanks, he hurriedly turned on the camera phone bug. In addition to being able to connect to the marine headquarters, this camera phone bug, the screen will also be connected to the World News headquarters. Seeing that the marine soldiers ignored him, the reporter on board had no choice but to give up and quietly act as a little transparency. With the camera phone bug uploading the screen, Sengoku and Morgans look at Aokiji, who is suppressed by Akahoshi in the picture. Can't help showing an unbelievable expression, that rascal. Who is it? Chapter 7 Akainu. I repeat, Laozi's ancestor is definitely not a starfish. The dog gnaws the red lotus, ice cube storm pheasant's mouth. As the battle between Akahoshi and Aokiji gradually heated up, Sengoku and Morgans far across the ocean, a strong look of suspicion and shock appeared on his face. An internal conflict at Marine Admiral? Morgans narrowed his eyes slightly. I really don't understand why Akainu and Aokiji fought on Mermaid Island. And look at this posture, no matter how you look at it, it looks like a life and death situation. But isn't Marine getting ready for battle now because of Whitebeard's meeting with Redhead? In a trance, Morgan seemed to have thought of something, and a playful smile appeared on his face. Marine Admiral has internal conflicts and is fighting to the death on the Fishman Island. I'm sure Marine would be happy to see such news, right? Just when Morgans was about to release the news, Sengoku's eager voice rang out from the phone bug. Are you kidding me? How could there be two lava fruit capable users? In shock, Sengoku hastily ordered the guards on the side to notify all Marine senior management for an emergency meeting. And Morgans, after hearing Sengoku's words, suddenly confused. Take a closer look. Morgans also noticed something was wrong. How can it be? That guy isn't a Kainu. All of a sudden, a bold idea is about to come out in Morgans' mind. Little ones, use all your strength immediately. I want the whole world to see this picture. A fight to the death between the murlocs with the lava fruit ability and Marine Admiral Aokiji? This kind of news can sell well enough to take off. Ha 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 ha. At the same time, Marine headquarters. The highest level conference room, due to the urgent call. Everyone present frowned. With a ready posture, he set his sights on Sengoku. Marshal Sengoku, is there any news about those two monsters from New World? Really, those two monsters, Whitebeard and Redhead, can't let people rest all day. In the face of people's inquiries, Sengoku shook his head seriously and said, Advertisement, no, I'm not calling you here this time for Whitebeard and the Redheads. Talking, Sengoku aimed the camera phone bug at the curtain behind him. Next second, a shocking scene like the collision between Crimson Hell and the extremely cold place. It suddenly appeared in the sight of everyone, looking at the figure moving at high speed on the curtain. Everyone present subconsciously cast their eyes on Akainu. Just because of the figure fighting Aokiji in the screen and the devil fruit ability displayed. I can't say that there is no relationship, I can only say that they are exactly the same. Even the moves are carved out of the same mold. It seems that they have noticed the strange eyes of everyone. Akainu stood up abruptly, pointing to the red figure on the curtain, he asked. Marshal Sengoku, who is that guy? Why does that guy have the ability to lava fruit? Marshal Sengoku, tell me, is this a human weapon newly developed by the world government? A person capable of being a lava fruit. No one knows better than him what fruit ability is in the picture. Even at first glance, Akainu is still wondering when did he fight Aokiji in the Fishman Island. The conclusion that can be drawn is naturally negative. After all, both are Marine Admiral, how could he possibly engage in a deathmatch with Aokiji? And the only thing that can be explained, it is the human weapon developed by the world government. And Bartholomew Kuma is the best example, besides. He couldn't think of any reason to explain the bizarre scene in front of him. However, faced with a series of inquiries from Akainu, Sengoku shook his head with a serious face and said, Calm down Sakazuki, I know you can accept this fact very well. However, I have already asked the world government, and they have secretly used your blood to make human weapons. After hearing Sengoku's explanation, Akainu still didn't want to believe it. After all, how could there be a second identical devil fruit in this world? Seeing that Akainu's mood is very unstable, Sengoku was not used to him either and immediately scolded. Sakazuki, this is the meeting room. It's not a place where you guys can mess around. If you insist on making trouble, please get out. After being scolded by Sengoku, Akainu's temper also came up. However, due to the occasion and the gap in military rank, Advertisement Akainu could only snort coldly and swallow the dissatisfaction into his stomach. See Akainu stop messing around. Sengoku will be the ancestor of Aokiji. And a series of events of this sudden incident were told. After the audience listened, they all showed incredible expressions and exclaimed. Could it be? That guy who was fighting Admiral Aokiji is the ancestor of Admiral Akainu? Isn't this incredible? Sakazuki, your ancestors are really scary tilde? Listening to everyone's speculation, Akainu couldn't hold back anymore. Immediately stood up, pointed at everyone and angrily said. You bastards, how could Laozi's ancestors be murlocs? Sakazuki, please calm down, after all, such things are uncertain. While trimming his nails, Kizaru said nonchalantly. Besides, you look really scary tilde. Shut up Luzolino, is it fun to joke like that? I didn't say that, Sakazuki, please don't take your anger out on me. You. Seeing that Akainu and Kizaru are about to quarrel. With a gloomy face, Sengoku slammed the table and shouted angrily. Give me some peace, if you want to keep arguing, get out of here. I didn't call this emergency meeting to listen to your quarrel. At the same time as the rage sounded, the air in the entire meeting room was as suffocating as freezing. Soon, seeing that everyone was quiet, Sengoku gave Akainu a weird look. It seems to be hesitating. After a while, Sengoku seemed to have made some kind of big decision. With a long sigh, he said slowly, Sakazuki, why don't you go back and check the family tree? After all, the impact of this incident is really. Before Sengoku could finish speaking, Akainu got up angrily. Pointing at the red star in the screen, he said angrily. I'll say it one last time, Laozi's ancestors are definitely not murlocs. It's even more impossible to be this guy. Chapter 8. The world shakes, Aokiji goes to Bikini Bottom. South Blue, Crystal Island. Al lay on the rocking chair with a puzzled face. It has been more than 2 days since the creation of Seafood 3 Admiral. But until now there is no trace of Seafood 3 Admiral. Not even the sound of the system sounded, isn't it really my dream? Al slapped his face, leave the doubts in your mind behind. He casually turned on the phone bug that was used to pass the time. This is the latest development from the Vegapunk Institute. When I'm usually bored, Al would just use it as a radio station. In addition to listening to Uda's singing, more is used to understand the big and small events happening in the world. The moment Al turned on the phone bug, a voice tearing at the throat suddenly sounded. Big news, big news. Shocked, the Fishman Island surprises the second lava fruit ability. What is this? Half the words, just heard a gunshot. Morgans, the world government orders you to forbid this news to be made public. A lackey of the world government, how did you get in here? Obey the orders of the world government, otherwise all that awaits you is death. With the sound of fighting came from the phone bug. Al couldn't help frowning, he repeated in his mind what Morgans had just said. The second lava fruit ability user? In a trance. Al seemed to have thought of something and couldn't help but gasped. Could it be? Damn, I've waited so long. The Seafood 3 Admiral created by me has gone to the Fishman Island. Almost at the same time as the voice fell to the ground, A villager hurriedly ran across the side path. At the same time, he shouted, "Al, go to the newspaper office in town. I heard from the villagers that something extraordinary seems to have happened at the newspaper office." After all, the villagers disappeared from Al's sight in a flash. Al was speechless. What is this all about? But soon Al seemed to think of something. Immediately there was an expression of enlightenment. Combined with the words from the previous phone bug, Al already had an idea in his mind. I'm afraid Morgans has done something crazy again? Thinking of this, advertisement, Al immediately stood up and ran towards the newspaper office. Almost at the same time Al got up, people from most of the world rushed to the newspaper offices on their respective islands. Not long. When Al arrives, the entire newspaper office has been surrounded with water. And the person in charge of the newspaper seems to know that there will be so many people coming. So deliberately set up a huge curtain. This scene is very similar to the scene when a movie is shown in the village. But Al didn't care about that anymore, just because on the curtain. At this time, the scene of the battle between Nakahoshi and Aokiji is playing. Is this the battle between the top powerhouses? It's really scary. By the way, why is Marine Admiral fighting among themselves? Could it be that there is some conflict? Idiot, even if there is a conflict, it is impossible to fight so fiercely. That's right, this is clearly a battle of life and death. Hearing the noise in my ears, Al fell into a brief thought. Although he knew it wasn't Akainu who was fighting Aokiji. It's the red star he created, but why did Akahoshi fight Aokiji? After thinking for a while, Al really couldn't think of a good reason. It is impossible for Qingshang to sneak out. In the end, Kai Shing found the wrong person. You got into a fight with Aokiji out of anger, right? After all, when he created the mysterious legend of Beechburg, it was written that no one was allowed to leave Beechburg. It's just that this reason is too abstract. Al didn't want to believe it. Forget it, just take this opportunity to let the world know about the existence of Beechburg. In this way, I can get the reward faster. Al shook his head, the corners of his mouth curled into a curve. In his memory, Summit War is about to start. If you can get some good rewards before then, maybe go to Summit War or something. After all, as one of the largest wars in the pirate world, if you don't punch a card, then the fun of life will be less than half. Certainly, this is based on the premise of sufficient strength. After all, he didn't want to die in the war. At the same time, the Fishmen Island, Mermaid Bay. After Akahoshi knocked Aokiji away with one punch. With cold eyes, he asked, advertisement, Qingshang, as your best friend, I will ask you to give you one last chance. Either follow me back to Beechburg and be punished. Or, let me break your limbs and take you back to Beechburg to be punished. Facing Qixing's questioning, Aokiji turned around blankly, looking at the marine soldiers running towards him in sight. Aokiji's face sank, and he immediately scolded, didn't I let you get out of here? Why did you run back again? The marine soldier who was reprimanded by Aokiji obviously paused for a few seconds. Then he yelled, Aokiji Admiral, Marshal Sengoku has something urgent to tell you. Aokiji was silent for 2 seconds, quickly rushed to the side of the marine soldier and snatched the phone bug. Get out of here quickly, Aokiji yelled, raised his hand and threw the marine soldiers away. Next second, a roaring explosion rang out from where Aokiji had been standing. Qingshang, what happened to you? Why protect those guys? Have you forgotten how the disaster happened 1,000 years ago? Answer me, Qingshang. The angry roar fell from midair with countless lava giant fists. Just for a moment, the huge mermaid bay has become a crimson hell. Looking at the red star who was in a rage, Aokiji couldn't help frowning. It is clear, this battle has gone beyond his control. If Kai Shing is allowed to go on fooling around like this again, I'm afraid the whole of the Fishmen Island will be destroyed in his hands. Thinking of this, Aokiji's eyes flashed with determination. He intends to do his best to lead Qixing to the edge of the Fishmen Island. Then take the opportunity to blast it into the seawater. Only in this way, only then can the Fishmen Island be saved without any risk of failure. Just do it like this, his own life will not be guaranteed in any way. After all, except for murlocs in the Fishmen Island, there are countless pirates. Moses, Marshal Sengoku, I. Just when Aokiji was about to tell Sengoku what he thought, Sengoku was the first to interrupt him and said, Kuzan, although what I said next was very vexatious. But I ask you to obey orders, promise to that murloc, and go to that so-called Bikini Castle to be punished. Chapter 9 Red Star. Don't act like you haven't seen the world, okay? Chapter 9. Red Star. Don't act like you haven't seen the world, okay? Hey, Marshal Sengoku, it's time to stop making such silly jokes. When he heard that Sengoku wanted him to go to Beechburg to be punished, Aokiji suddenly became numb, even if the Fishmen Island is indeed in crisis. But it's not enough to let him be a hostage. However, Sengoku's explanation took Aokiji a little by surprise. I didn't say to let you be a hostage. Sengoku supported the table with one hand. The tone is very serious. The world government guys seem to be very interested in that so-called Beechburg. That's why I specifically asked you to let me pretend to surrender. Actually, I was looking for news from that murloc. Seems to reassure Aokiji, Sengoku added one last sentence. Don't worry, Marine support is on the way right now. Remember to bring the camera phone bug, words fall. The corner of Aokiji's mouth twitched uncontrollably. A long time, Aokiji sighed helplessly, Reluctantly, he glanced at Kai Shing. Then with a humming sound, he opened the mouth and said, I see. Put the phone bug in your pocket. Xing Zhang raised his hands without hesitation. With a reluctance, he said helplessly, yeah, there's really nothing I can do about you. I'm willing to go back to Beechburg with you and be punished. See Aokiji no longer resist, the anger on Qixing's face dissipated at a speed visible to the naked eye. Wouldn't it be better to do this earlier? You have to be so careless? After all, Akahoshi also ignored Aokiji. Instead, he turned and flew in the direction of Beechburg. Seeing this, Aokiji, take the opportunity to come to the side of the marine soldiers and shoot the phone bug. And the coral bubble belt, after all, as a human being. Advertisement also a landlubber cursed by devil fruit. If you want to walk in the sea, coral bubbles are a must. Soon, Aokiji caught up with Qixing and came to the edge of the Fishman Island. Looking at the coral bubbles in the corner of Aokiji's mouth, Kai Shing couldn't help asking, Xingshang, what are you holding in your mouth? Facing Qixing's inquiry, Aokiji is full of strange question marks. As a murloc, you don't know what coral bubbles are. However, due to the previous battles and the unreasonable demands of the world government, Aokiji didn't want to talk to Akahoshi at this time. Plus he's a fake now, if you accidentally say the wrong thing, it will inevitably be another earth-shattering battle. See Aokiji unwilling to say, Kai Shing didn't bother to continue questioning. After all, the most important thing now, how to intercede for Qingzang's violation of the rules of Beechburg. Thinking of those old guys in Beechburg, Kai Xing's face suddenly darkened. I'll try to intercede for you when I get back to Beechburg. But don't act idiotic like you are doing now, for Chihashi's chatter. Aokiji ignored it. Instead, use coral bubbles to blow a bubble that wraps itself. Then slowly pass through the giant bubble membrane of the Fishman Island. Looking at Aokiji who was behaving strangely, Kai Shing couldn't hold back anymore and immediately asked. Hey, are you guys listening to me? Didn't I say, don't do such idiot behavior again? Kai Shing yelled and cursed, while walking through the giant bubble wrap of the Fishman Island. Looking at exposing the whole body to the seawater. And the Red Star who was still chattering, Aokiji couldn't help but gasp. Eyes full of shock. Not only Aokiji, at this time, in the meeting room of the Marine headquarters. Advertisement together with Sengoku and all Marine executives. The moment he saw Qixing exposing his body to the seawater. Everyone fell into a brief silence, seems to be thinking. Are you dreaming? Or is the eye broken? A demon fruit power? How is it possible to expose the body to seawater? This simply subverted the rules of the world for hundreds of years. It even shattered their worldview, Gu la la la. In the devilish laughter, Whitebeard stared at the screen with disdain. Marine is getting more and more lonely. This kind of thing that deceives a 3-year-old child dares to be put in front of the world. Is it true that the whole world is a fool? Father. Marco put his hands on the railing, gazing at the blue sea. Casually asked. That ace guy seems to have found Teach's position. Do we need to help? Unnecessary, Whitebeard waved his hand and said confidently. That Teach guy is no match for Ace. Let Ace solve this matter by himself. See, Daddy said so. Marco stopped talking too much, just stared into the distance silently. At the same time, Grand Line, Panero Island. Hey, it's true. Is that guy still human? Looking at the Red Star whose body is completely exposed to the seawater. A cold sweat broke out on Blackbeard's forehead. This simply subverted his perception of demon fruit power. While Blackbeard was in a daze, an unfriendly provocative sound came from the roof not far away. Hey, Blackbeard, what are you staring at? Chapter 10 Bikini Bottom exposed. 5 elders can't sit still. On the island of Banero, Blackbeard's fight with Ace. After a short exchange, it's on the verge of firing. At the same time, Akahoshi stared at Aokiji very dissatisfied. Hey, are you guys listening to me? Facing Qixing's questioning. After being stunned for a moment, Aokiji pointed at Chihashi with a face full of surprise and asked. Aren't you a demon fruit power? Why? Seeing that Aokiji hesitated to speak. Kai Shing narrowed his eyes slightly, and the veins on his forehead popped out. Qingshang, how long are you going to pretend to be stupid? You've been saying inexplicable things since the beginning. As the Red Star continues to approach, Aokiji couldn't help but a trace of cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Are you going to be exposed? This is not suitable for fighting? While Aokiji was thinking about how to deal with it, Kai Shing stopped suddenly. He stared in the direction of Dragon Palace City with a surprised face. Muttered to himself. It's really strange, how could I perceive the breath of Qingshang in that place? An illusion? Just when Akahoshi intends to release observation haki for further confirmation. Aokiji suddenly interrupted. Yeah, what are you in a daze for? Aren't we going to Beachy Bottom? While saying these words, Aokiji freezes the phone bug in his pocket with his frozen fruit ability. He doesn't want to listen to the unreasonable demands of the world government anymore. Called by Aokiji, Qixing also gave up on continuing to investigate. After all, Qingshang was standing in front of him. It's impossible to have 2 blue badges, right? Leave your confused thoughts behind. Kai Shing hummed lightly, then he led Aokiji to the direction of Bikini Castle. Advertisement since Aokiji is in the water, so they are not traveling fast. Qixing was also very dissatisfied with this. After all, the longer the time, the punishment will be more severe. dissatisfaction can be dissatisfaction. After all, as my best friend, Shixing also didn't want to see Qingshang punished. So taking advantage of the period of time when I returned to Beechburg, pour out the great contributions that Qingshang has made thousands of years ago. The euphemistic name is, make up for the mistakes. Aokiji also took this opportunity to ask out the doubts in his heart. For example, how did the Great War break out thousands of years ago? Why is Bikini Bottom closed to anyone? And the one thing Aokiji wants to know the most. Why Chixing is a demon fruit power, can you expose your body to seawater? Facing Aokiji's problem like cerebral palsy, Kai Sheng didn't want to answer. After all these things, as long as you are a Bikini Bottom resident, you can treat it like a charm. Can't stand Aokiji's repeated inquiries, Akahoshi can only answer like Aokiji angrily. Along the way, Chixing briefly told the history of Beechburg. A huge empire thousands of years ago? A mysterious potion that can remove the devil fruit curse? An artificial fruit without the devil fruit curse? Yeah, this is really surprising, Aokiji was fascinated. The way he looked at Kai Sheng also changed subtly. He couldn't imagine the guy who looked exactly like a Kainu in front of him. There is such a shocking past, and Aokiji is far from alone in being shocked. To know their conversations, but for the whole world. Listening to Kai Xing's mouth about the empire thousands of years ago. And a mystical potion that removes the devil fruit's curse. Advertisement in the meeting room of Marine headquarters. So people can't help but tremble, this is simply unbelievable. Thousands of years ago, someone was able to remove the curse of devil fruit. This is simply amazing. Hey, is this the point? Didn't you hear that murloc say that their civilization and technology have been sealed? That means, the mysterious potion that undoes the devil fruit's curse. Maybe it was also sealed? After some guesswork. Everyone including Sengoku couldn't help but gasp. If this conjecture holds true, the whole world will go crazy. I don't know what the world government will do about it. Sengoku narrowed his eyes slightly, such a big deal. World government will never let it go, because, this is a terrifying power enough to overturn the world. As Sengoku expected, after learning about Beechburg, the world government immediately took action, and 5 elders, the top executive of the world government. At this time, they also gathered in the Hall of Power in Pangu City to discuss the harm of Beechburg to the world. Damn news of the world, haven't our people stopped those guys from spreading the news about Beechburg? What we should worry about is not the Guy Morgans, but those monsters in New World. Indeed, those guys must have heard about Beechburg by now. They should all be heading towards Mermaid Island now, right? We need to act fast. Such a powerful force must not fall into the hands of those pirates. Notice, let Sengoku prepare an ambush on the Fishmen Island in advance. All CP Cypher Pole give up the tasks in hand, and all go to Beechburg for me. The only one who can control this power is the world government. Chapter 11 Al. Attention to Bikini Bottom, what a big joke. Wanokuni, Ghost Island, Master Kaido, something is wrong. A loud shout interrupted Kaido who was drinking. Huh, didn't you guys see Laozi drinking? Looking at the slightly drunk Kaido, the subordinate hesitated for a moment, then tremblingly handed over a secret order. But Kaido ignored it, until the wine jug is empty. Then he raised his eyelids and glanced at his subordinate who was still kneeling in front of him. It seems to be aware that Kaido is looking at him. The subordinate stood up tremblingly, and handed the secret order to Kaido. This is the latest news that Mr. Jack sent back from overseas. Words fall, Kaido looked back and forth in front of the empty wine jar. Then he got up angrily and smashed all the empty wine jars into pieces. Out of wine. Bring me some wine, in the voice of anger. Kaido glared straight at his men. Didn't you hear what Laozi said? No more wine. His hands trembled in shock, the secret order in his hand also fell to the ground. But he doesn't care about it now, instead, he hurried out to get the wine. While waiting for the drinks to arrive, Kaido was crazy about drinking, and smashed everything in front of him. When there is nothing to smash, only then did Kaido notice the secret order on the ground. Seems out of curiosity, Kaido picked up the secret order and lay down in the ruins casually to read it. Hi tilde the huge empire Beechburg that appeared thousands of years ago? A mysterious potion that can remove the devil fruit curse. Kaido blinked, it seems that some do not believe the information conveyed in the secret order. After all, how can the curse of devil fruit be eliminated? However, read more to the back. Kaido is sweating more and more frequently. Until all the text in the secret order has been read. Kaido's drunkenness has completely dissipated, that's when. The previous subordinate came to Kaido with 2 large jars of wine. Master Kaido, the wine you want, advertisement. Without waiting for my subordinates to finish speaking. Kaido raised his hand and knocked the wine and his men to the ground, angrily said. Wine what wine? Why didn't you tell me about such an important thing in advance? But, seeing that my subordinates still want to refute. Kaido raised his hand and slapped it several meters away, angrily said. But what is it? Tell me what's going on outside. Facing Kaido in rage, the subordinate also ignored the pain on his face, and hurriedly said. Report to Master Kaido. A powerful force called Beechburg appeared on the bottom of the sea. As Master Jack described in the secret order, this faction called Beechburg has a way to remove the devil fruit curse. Now world government, Marine, Whitebeard, BIGMOM, Redhead. Wait until the forces of many parties have all rushed in the direction of the Fishmen Island. That's why Master Jack sent a secret order to ask for your opinion. Listening to the report of your subordinates, Kaido's face gradually darkened. Why are you still here in a daze? Why don't you quickly gather people to go to sea? Wait for those damned guys to loot the treasure, and then go to join in the fun? After the subordinates leave, Kaido dug up his big iron rod in the ruins. With a gloomy face, he murmured, I really didn't expect that such a major event would happen in the outside world. A mystical potion that removes the devil fruit's curse. Artificial fruit without the devil fruit curse. I want all these Laozi, as the mysterious veil of Bikini Castle is slowly revealed in Kai Zing's words. The whole world is like a pot of boiling water, completely fell into endless madness. All forces are eager to obtain the technology and treasures sealed in Bikini Castle. Water Capital, Garp, who was repairing the wall, left in a hurry after hearing the news. Cake Island, Bigmom, who originally planned to taste delicious food. After hearing the news, he swallowed the food in one gulp. Hurry up and gather people to head towards the Fishmen Island. On an unknown island in New World, the red hair pirates were still toasting and drinking a second ago, talking freely. The next second will be ready to go, advertisement. Head straight to the Fishmen Island. Whitebeard still thought it was a trick played by Marine at first. Very dismissive of this, but in the next second, he was pushed and pulled by Marco to the Fishmen Island. This is his instinct as a doctor, just remove the devil fruit's curse. Whitebeard's wounds affected by the devil fruit's curse can be healed. There may even be a return to subversion, certainly. All this is just Marco's guess, but as long as there is even a chance. They are also willing to gamble, as the news of the rush of various forces spread throughout the world. Many ordinary people with low strength are also moved by it. For them, this is very likely to be a major opportunity to change your life. Just grab, then you can become the most powerful person feared by everyone. But Al thinks this is very ridiculous, not to mention that Beechburg is in a deep trench under the sea. Even if you can reach Beechburg safely, in addition to facing Seafood 3 Admiral, those Beechburg residents are not to be trifled with either. Know that Al once wrote this sentence, and this decision also caused Beechburg to lose contact with the outside world, and eventually evolved into a world of strong men who are respected only by force, close black lens bracket. The world of the strong, where force is the only thing, is no joke. Looking at the ordinary people who are ambitious and ready to form a group to go to Beechburg. Al shook his head, sighing softly inwardly. At the same time, I also began to look forward to the strength of the residents of Beechburg. After all, there is not only one faction going to Beechburg this time. Think for a moment, Al spread his hands, a look of confidence. Even if people from all over the world flock to Bikini Bottom, I don't seem to have to worry about it, after all, that's the home of Beechburg. Thinking of this, Al couldn't help but smile. Suddenly I'm looking forward to the scene of Bikibow's killing spree. In this way, the legend of Beechburg will be recognized by more people. I can get rewards too. Chapter 12 Xinjiang. Hey, you must be my grandparent, right? The Fishmen Island, inside Dragon Palace City. Master Xinjiang, those people seem to have left the Fishmen Island. Neptune interrupted the band, with a slightly anxious tone, he asked. Master Xinjiang, when do you plan to leave Dragon Palace City? To be honest, at this time, Neptune regretted that he had fooled Xinjiang out. After all, because of Xinjiang, as a result, the entire Mermaid Bay has now become a sea of flames. He was really afraid that Aokiji's identity would be revealed, thus angering Chixing. At that time, I'm afraid that the entire the Fishmen Island will be destroyed in Qixing's hands. Seeing Neptune's eagerness, Xinjiang waved his hand. You continue to play music and dance, and I will discuss it with your king. Talking, Xinjiang raised his tentacles, pulling Neptune's beard, he went straight to the outside of the hall. Master Xinjiang, I know that what I said is a bit presumptuous. However, the Fishmen Island really can't bear the secondary damage from your best friend. Heard that, Xinjiang persuaded with a nonchalant expression. Relax. As long as the guy pretending to be me doesn't show too many flaws. Just relying on Kai Zing's guy who only knows how to fight and kill and has no brains, you can't recognize him at all. Besides, you will be punished sooner or later anyway, so why not listen to the wonderful music for a while longer? If you don't listen enough this time, you won't have a chance in the future. Looking at Neptune who was stunned in place, Xinjiang waved his hand. Forget it, it's useless to tell you, you don't understand music. I don't even know a heart that is willing to give everything for music. Words fall, Neptune couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. I can't wait to order someone to throw the green badge out of the Fishmen Island on the spot. But that's just thinking, after all, the consequence of doing that is the demise of the entire the Fishmen Island. Master Xinjiang, if you really like music that much, I can give you all the musical instruments in the palace. Of course, the Fishmen Island welcomes you anytime. I just hope you can go back first this time, and I will welcome you next time you come back. Facing Neptune's request, advertisement Xinjiang just wanted to refuse. I saw the tears in the corners of Neptune's eyes. It seems that I can't see others cry. Xinjiang coughed lightly, pretending to be anxious and said. Yeah, I suddenly remembered that I still have some important things to do. What a headache. Seeing that Neptune's expression improved slightly. After Xinjiang pretended to be reluctant to accept the gifted musical instrument. He left the Fishmen Island again under Neptune's weeping smile. As soon as I left the Fishmen Island, Qingshang deeply regretted his soft-hearted behavior. But now it's gone, you can't go back thick-skinned, right? What a troublesome rule, Qingzhang sighed lightly. The body turned into a cyan lightning and disappeared in place. At the same time, in a coral bush near Beechburg, Kai Shing pointed to the deep groove on the seabed not far away and complained. Qingshang, can you walk faster? It only took a few minutes, but you dragged it on for 10 minutes. If you are really afraid of punishment, then don't violate the rules of Beechburg. Attacked by a series of mouth cannons from Chixing. Aokiji was very speechless. After all, he is not able to move freely underwater like Chihashi. Although I was very dissatisfied with Kai Xing's rambling. But Aokiji was powerless to refute. Kai Shing can only continue to chatter. However, to Aokiji's surprise, after Kai Shing babbled a few words, he fell silent. I thought that Kai Xing's conscience had found out. The result was Qixing's soul torture. Who are you guys? At the same time as the voice fell to the ground. In the meeting room of Marine headquarters, Sengoku couldn't help sweating for Aokiji and murmured. Are you going to be exposed? The Marine executives on the side echoed. It's very bad for Aokiji Admiral to be exposed in this environment. Marshal Sengoku, the troops we sent out have only just set off, so it's impossible to arrive there. Damn, is it possible that Aokiji Admiral is going to die like this? Advertisement, facing Qixing's sudden questioning. Aokiji was at a loss for a while, but out of a strong psychological quality. Aokiji quickly calmed down his chaotic state of mind. Then he pointed at himself with a puzzled look and asked. Are you asking me? Qixing shook his head. Staring firmly into the distance, he said coldly. Who dares to follow me? Come out quickly, words fall. Qingzang's lazy voice came from a distance. Yeah. Qixing, your vigilance is still as terrifying as ever. While the sound is sounding, a cyan lightning flashed across Kai Xing's eyes. Next second, before Qixing could react, a strong big P** sigh slammed hard on his forehead. Immediately afterwards, Qingzhang's voice sounded again. Hey, you must be the grandparent that Neptune mentioned, right? Looking at Qingshang standing above his head and saying hello to him. Aokiji was at a loss for words. My head is full of strange question marks. You are my ancestor. No, Aokiji, who realized that he had said something wrong, quickly changed his words. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. Are you the so-called Qingshang? Just when Qingshang was about to respond, Kai Shing, who was blown away by the fan, came angrily in front of the two of them. Asked loudly. Qingzhang, you be ******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* aware of something amiss, Kai Shing slapped his forehead fiercely. After the green chapter, I'm hallucinating, there are actually two of you here. Chapter 13 Rumors spread. Akainu was furious, once the picture of Aokiji and Qingshong in the same frame was broadcast. It immediately attracted the attention of the whole world. Who is that guy, and why is he so similar to Marine Admiral Aokiji? Idiot, didn't you hear that guy Aokiji called that murloc ancestor? Seriously, I just went to the toilet and came back and I don't know what happened, don't lie to me. What are you doing lying to you? Everyone present can testify. Indeed, first did hear Marine Admiral Aokiji call that murloc ancestor. Yes, I heard it too. At first I thought I had heard it wrong. Listening to the discussions around me, Al was at a loss for a while. What is this all about? How did Aokiji become Xingzang's grandparent? To know when he comes, Aokiji is already in full swing with Akahoshi. As for what happened before, he didn't know anything about it. Not only him, the surrounding people were also dumbfounded. Although Marine Admiral Aokiji does have some resemblance to that murloc named Qingshong. But, Aokiji is human. How could the ancestor be a murloc? For this question, the person in charge of the newspaper once again acted as an interpreter. According to the news that our newspaper headquarters has learned, the purpose of Marine Aokiji Admiral's trip to the Fishmen Island this time is to find the ancestors. Please think about what that murloc named Kai Shing said just now. They lived thousands of years ago, and it's because of the ice that it didn't die in the long river of time. Besides, the most important point is the life bred by the murlocs and humans. There is a very high possibility that it is a human being. After the heads of newspapers around the world announced the amazing news, the whole world suddenly burst into unbelievable exclamations. Everyone including Al, they were all in shock for a short time because of this shocking news. But think about it, Al quickly found the fatal loophole. After all, Seafood 3 Admiral was created by him. How could it be the ancestor of Marine 3 Admiral? Tisk, fake news is harmful, advertisement. However, ordinary people accept Al, it is to believe in the news released by the newspaper. After all this statement, totally works, even everyone in the conference room of Marine headquarters. They all looked at Akainu suspiciously, it seems to be saying. Why don't you go back and look up the family tree? Akainu also noticed the strange eyes of everyone. Immediately, he was furious, and angrily said, don't look at me with such disgusting eyes. I'll say it one last time, Laozi's ancestors were definitely not mermaids. With the sound of fury, the entire conference room fell into dead silence again. Only Kizaru still opened his mouth with an expression of watching the excitement. You look so scary, Sakazuki tilde. Shut up Luzolino. If you be asterisk 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 do you want to fight, come on, Akainu, who is in a rage, is not used to Kizaru at all. And Kizaru also responded without hesitation. Don't be so impulsive, Sakazuki, you look so scary. You be asterisk 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 d. Seeing that the scene is about to get out of control, Sengoku slammed the table and angrily said, shut up, have you guys had enough trouble? Have you all forgotten why I asked you to come here? Now that Kuzan's identity has been exposed, you still have the mood to mess around here. Facing Sengoku's scolding again, the anger in Akainu's heart could no longer be suppressed. Immediately pointing at Chihashi, who was foolishly unable to tell Aokiji from Aokiji on the screen, he replied. Marshal Sengoku, can't you see that idiot can't tell which is real? Words fall, everyone was at a loss for words, looking at the screen. Akahoshi looking back and forth between Aokiji and Shinshong. Sengoku's mouth twitched. It seems that some people can't believe what they see in front of them. At this time, Akainu pointed at the crowd and yelled again. Based on Laozi's IQ, that guy can't be my ancestor. Advertisement, if you let Laozi see your disgusting eyes again. Don't blame me for being rude to you, words fall. The conference room fell into silence again, it's just that Kizaru didn't say anything more this time. Still trimming the nails as if nothing had happened. As if these things had nothing to do with him, Marines gossip about Akainu and Aokiji. Akainu's hostile questioning voice gradually subsided. But outside, rumors about them, but it spread like locusts crossing the border. Even the world government came out urgently to refute the rumors. It can't stop the crazy fire of the news of the world. Gu la la la. In the devilish laughter, Whitebeard threw the newspaper in Marco's hand. Laughed loudly. That guy Morgans is really not afraid of death. Gu la la la. Absurd things like the ancestors of Marine Admiral dare to report. I really want to see the look on that fellow Sengoku's face when he finds out. Marco took the newspaper from Whitebeard, there was also a playful smile on his face. Father, news just came from your subordinates, that guy Al is said to have fought Blackbeard. Now that Marine has another scandal like this, it's a double blessing. The smile on Whitebeard's face grew brighter after hearing this. Little ones, full speed ahead, wait until Laozi gets the treasures sealed in Bikini Bottom. Just behead that scum of Teach, everyone heard the words. They all cheered and jumped up, they shouted in unison with an imposing manner. Full speed ahead. The treasure must belong to our Whitebeard pirates. Chapter 14 Create a mysterious legend, Seafood Shichibukai on top. As the rumors between Aokiji and Akainu gradually fermented, it also makes more and more people recognize the existence of Beechburg. While Al was still thinking about why Chingshong didn't tell the truth, the mechanical sound that suddenly sounded in his mind brought him back to reality. Ding, the mysterious legend has been initially spread. The moment the system sounds, Al opened the system page without hesitation. The moment you open it, countless pieces of news rushed in like a torrent. The mysterious legend of Beechburg has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and the mysterious points +1 have been obtained. Close black lens bracket. Creating the character, Bikibao, Chingshong, has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and the mysterious point +1 has been obtained. Close black lens bracket. Creating the character, Bikibao, Red Star, has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and the mysterious point +1 has been obtained. Close black lens bracket. The mysterious legend of Beechburg has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and the mysterious points +1 have been obtained. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket looking at the words crazily pouring out like a torrent. Alton was surprised. At the same time, I also understand the reward mechanism of the system. As long as there is one person who believes in the existence of Bikini Bottom, then he can gain one mysterious point, and not only the legend of Beechburg can gain points. Even created characters can earn points, in this way. I guess it won't take long, Al can rely on the rewards given by the system to become the strongest in this world. Thinking of this, Al casually picked up the prompt that popped up by the system for a while. Then go straight to the system mall, but the main purpose of Al going to the system mall. But it's not for buying props, just to see how many mysterious points I have now. The current mysterious points are 14,980. Close black lens bracket looking at the ever-increasing numbers. Al resolutely quit the system mall, get ready to test your luck in the lottery. After all, the novice discount in the system mall, as well as the specials campaigns are gone, and those sky-high props. Advertisement Al didn't want to spend mystery points to buy it. When you open the lottery page, Al didn't hesitate. Go straight to 10 in a row. Open black lens bracket congratulations to the host. Thank you for your patronage, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket congratulations to the host. Thank you for your patronage, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket congratulations. Close black lens bracket, looking at the full screen, thank you for your patronage. Al has a sentence MMP I don't know if I should say it or not. One shot 10 times, it directly let Al see the face of the system clearly. But compared to those expensive props in the system mall, far less affordable and exciting than the lottery. After all, no one is sure whether there will be top props in the next round. Moreover, the mysterious points are increasing all the time. Al is not worried about the mystery points being zeroed at all. Make up one's mind, Al also stopped talking nonsense. Facing the lottery page, Kwang Kwang was a blast. As for those pop-up windows that thank you for your patronage, Al chooses to ignore it, when the number of lucky points drops to 9,864. A golden light flashed across Al's eyes like a falling meteorite. Next second, the cold voice of the system sounded again. Ding, congratulations to host for getting the Bikini Bot material character X2. SpongeBob, Squidward, host has been detected to have 2 material roles. Use or not? With the sound of the system, Al froze in place for a moment. Head full of strange question marks. What the hell is a recurring role? An error occurred in the system? With a skeptical attitude, Al hesitated for a moment and chose to use it. Advertisement. Material role. SpongeBob SquarePants. Close black lens bracket, modification in progress, close black lens bracket. F*K. It's really repeating the role, you kid, I'm afraid it wasn't developed by MI who use pick and search stuff. Although I feel very upset, but it can't be wasted, can it? Another rant. Al settled down, start writing the legend of your new character on the system page. Since Chixing made up his mind to freeze himself, the rest of the fighters have also chosen to freeze themselves, close black lens bracket. And this decision also caused a gap in Bikibao's top combat power, close black lens bracket. In order to prevent Beechburg from falling into crisis again, close black lens bracket. As Huang Mian's nephew, Shaw Crocker Huang Deer, he aspires to become an upright man like his uncle, close black lens bracket. And the first step he took was to change his name to Huang Deer, close black lens bracket. As for the second step, it is to join the Beechburg Guards, close black lens bracket. After joining the Beechburg Guards, Huang Deer met 6 good comrades in arms, close black lens bracket. With the joint efforts of 6 good comrades in arms, close black lens bracket, Huang Deer finally became one of the 7 most powerful people in contemporary Beechburg, close black lens bracket. Afterwards, with the support of contemporary Beechburg residents, the 7 Supremes became known as the Seafood Shichibukai, close black lens bracket. Huang Deer, who became Seafood Shichibukai, did not give up his original dream because of his fame, close black lens bracket. In order to become as powerful as Uncle Huang Mian, Huang Deer is working hard every day, close black lens bracket. Then, during a mission to clean up the ruins, Huang Deer accidentally found the treasure house left by the scientists, close black lens bracket. In the treasure house, Huang Deer chose sand fruit among the many devil fruits, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Ever since, the legend of Seafood Shichibukai Yellow Dar has unfolded, close black lens bracket. Analyzing material roles. Logical fit, rapport fit. Material character fusion in progress. The fusion is complete, and it is detected that the host still has a material role to use. As the system beeps, after Al thought for a moment, then choose to continue. Material role. Brother Octopus, close black lens bracket. Modification in progress. Close black lens bracket. Chapter 15. Identity exposed. Akahoshi wants to execute Aokiji. Don Quixote Dafranjang, who was born in a musical family, was not interested in music since he was a child, close black lens bracket. But Brother Qingzang's title is so dazzling that his parents often force him to study music, close black lens bracket. This also led to the rebellious Don Quixote Dofrangango leaving his family to wander outside in a fit of anger, close black lens bracket. And made a poisonous oath to get rid of the label of Brother Qingshang, close black lens bracket. And the first step he took was to change his name to Brother Zhang, close black lens bracket. Brother Zhang, who just changed his name, is very happy, close black lens bracket. But I was happy to be caught by scientists in less than 3 seconds, and became the first generation test product of artificial fruit, close black lens bracket. Fortunately, the experiment was a success, close black lens bracket. Unfortunately, on the spur of the moment, the scientists confused the string fruit with the frozen fruit, close black lens bracket. In desperation, the scientists classified Brother Zhang as a failure and destroyed it, close black lens bracket. However, on the way to be destroyed, Brother Zhang stood up and resisted, and accidentally fell into the freezing device, thus being frozen for 100 years, close black lens bracket. 100 years later, Brother Zhang was accidentally rescued, but at this time, Bikini Bottom has already changed, close black lens bracket. When the residents of Beechburg learned that Brother Zhang is the younger brother of the cruel Admiral Qingshang, the shadow of 100 years ago once again enveloped Brother Zhang's heart, close black lens bracket. In order to completely get rid of Qingzang's influence on his life, Brother Zhang opened a clothing store with the ability of string fruit, close black lens bracket. In the next few years, Brother Zhang worked hard every day to study the matching of clothing, and finally became the well-known clothing king, close black lens bracket. The title of King of Clothing has also completely freed him from the label of his brother Qingshang, close black lens bracket. With the development of Brother Zhang's string fruit ability, it has gradually reached ultimate, close black lens bracket. In order to create more trendy clothing, Brother Zhang chose to join the Beechburg Guards for training, close black lens bracket. In the Beechford Guards, Brother Zhang met 6 good comrades in arms, and with their help, he became a member of the Seafood Shichibukai, close black lens bracket. Since then, the legend of Seafood Shichibukai and Clothing King Zhang Jie has been passed down for generations, close black lens bracket. Analyzing material roles. Logical fit, rapport fit. Material character fusion in progress. Open black lens bracket. The fusion of two material characters has been completed, close black lens bracket. Finally finished. Al let out a long breath, after meowing at his mysterious points. He chose to continue the lottery draw, at the same time as the lottery draw. From time to time, Al also imagines in his mind the scene when the seafood Shichibukai appears. At the same time, Xingjiang seemed unable to stand Kai Shing dangling in front of him. Advertisement. Raise your hand and hit Qixing's forehead with a blow. How long are you going to hang around? Kai Shing, who had eaten a chestnut, covered his head. Staring at Xingjiang with anger on his face, you kid must be a fake. Bang. The sound of gold and iron colliding is crisp and sweet. With a smirk on his face, Kai Shing took off the helmet on his head. Idiot, fortunately I was prepared. This is what happens when you sneak up on me. Looking at Kai Xing's unbeatable appearance, Xingjiang clutched his wrist in pain, angrily said. Red Star. What's the matter, counterfeit? Kai Shing raised his eyebrows, his face full of teasing. Did you become angry because of revealing your identity? If your psychological quality is only at this level, then I still suggest you not to imitate Xingjiang, because it will make you look stupid. Xingjiang, who was sprayed to pieces by Qixing's series of mouth cannons, couldn't hold back completely. Immediately pointing at Kai Shing angrily, he roared. You idiot, get out, when the voice fell to the ground. Dead memories frantically attacked Qixing's brain. Next second, Qixing seemed to recall something. Hugging Xingjiang fiercely, weeping with joy. Wow, Xingjiang, I didn't expect it was really you. Cry. After reacting, Kai Shing pushed Xingjiang away. Pointing at Aokiji angrily, he asked, since he is Xingjiang, who are you? Aokiji was speechless. Advertisement. After a brief moment of contemplation, Aokiji spread his hands. With a helpless face, he explained. Yeah, I said a long time ago that I'm not the person you're looking for. But instead of listening, you fought a big battle with me. In order to protect that island, I just agreed to go back with you and be punished. After listening to Aokiji's explanation, Qixing rubbed his chin and nodded in approval. What you said makes sense. This is indeed my mistake. Here I apologize to you. Looking at Kai Xing's sincere eyes, Aokiji waved his hand. Yeah, it's just a trivial matter, don't worry about it. If I don't have anything to do, then I'll go first. Before Aokiji finished speaking, but seeing Kai Shing turn around. With a serious face, he asked, Xingjiang, this guy already knows the secret of Beechburg. Do you want to kill him on the spot? Aokiji blinked. It seems to be wondering if I heard the wrong thing? A very sincere apology last second. In the next second, he asked if he wanted to be executed? How is this guy's brain circuit different from that of normal people? Hey, stop making such jokes, this kind of joke is not funny at all. Aokiji stepped back subconsciously, fighting in this environment. That would be deadly. Chapter 16. The inside story of Bikini Castle is exposed. Aokiji is numb. Looking at Kai Xing's determined eyes, Xingjiang narrowed his eyes slightly. Raise your hand and you will burst. Kill. Is there nothing else in your mind besides killing? Facing Xingjiang's questioning, Chihashi still pointed at Aokiji resolutely and said coldly. Xingjiang, I can listen to you on other matters. But don't forget how the war broke out thousands of years ago. Anyone who knows the existence of Beechburg must die. Words fall. Xingjiang fell into a brief silence. 1,000 years ago, if it wasn't for allowing foreigners to enter Beechburg, the war that destroyed Beechburg will not break out either. A long time, Xingjiang sighed lightly. Leave him to those guys. I'm tired of killing. I don't want you to lose your mind again because of killing. Seeing that Kai Shing was still staring at him, Xingjiang rolled his eyes. He raised his hand and grabbed Kai Xing's head, then used the ability to freeze fruit to freeze the bubble that wraps Aokiji. Then he grabbed Kai Shing with one hand, dragging the puck in one hand. Quickly headed towards Beechburg. In just a few minutes, Xingjiang took the two of them to the edge of Bikini Castle. Can you stop looking at me? It seems that Kai Shing can't stand staring at him all the time. Xingjiang grabbed Kai Xing's head and shook it vigorously up and down for a while. Pointing in a direction casually, he opened the mouth and said, You stay here from now on, I'll go to those guys and clear things up. Hey, talking to you. Looking at the red star like a stone statue. Xingjiang can't take it anymore. Throw him into a clearing. Without looking back, he dragged the puck and walked towards the depths of Beechburg. Well, I would like to ask, who are those guys you were talking about? Aokiji, who was silent for a long time, saw that he was out of danger. So he opened his mouth and asked what was going to happen next. After all, he didn't want to die here like this, to learn more about Bikini Bottom. In this way, there will be one more possibility of escaping from here. For Aokiji's inquiry, Xingjiang didn't hide anything. Instead, he explained very generously, those guys? Let's say it's the gang that rules Beechburg. For now, Aokiji frowned. It seems that some can't understand the meaning of Xingjiang. Could it be that Bikini Bottom is ruled by no one? But if so, advertisement isn't what Xingjiang said contradictory. Seems to be aware of Aokiji's doubts, Xingjiang smiled lightly and shook his head. The pious tone was mixed with some thoughts and sorrows. The true ruler of Beechburg created Bikini Bottom thousands of years ago and disappeared. And the guys who rule Beechburg now, just because of the great strength and achievements. So the residents of Beechburg have given them the right to rule. After listening to Qing Zhang's explanation, Aokiji couldn't help but sigh. A right conferred by the people? Hearing you say that, Beechburg is such a fascinating place. Longing? Qing Zhang sneered, that's not a desirable place? Since that war, Beechburg has become a world where force is paramount and the weak prey on the strong. Talking, Aokiji glanced at Aokiji strangely and continued. I witnessed the whole battle between you and Kai Shing. Let's just say that, based on your current strength, in Beechburg, at most, he can be regarded as a strong man in the middle and upper reaches. Although I don't get very good treatment, my life will not be bad. As soon as this statement comes out, it immediately caused an uproar all over the world. Everyone's eyes widened, looking at the Qing Zhang in the picture in disbelief. Exclaimed. That guy is too arrogant. You must know that Aokiji is a Marine Admiral, and is recognized as the most powerful Marine. However, with such a powerful existence, it is actually said that it can only be ranked in the middle and upper reaches of Beechburg. Although Aokiji Admiral and Akahoshi are indeed at a disadvantage in the battle. But that's 40 to 60 at any rate. Could it be that Chixing and Qingshang are only mid to upper level powerhouses in Beechburg? If this is the case, then the power of Beechburg is too terrifying. It's not just that people in the world feel that Qing Zhang's words are a bit too arrogant. Even Aokiji himself, I also remain skeptical about Qing Zhang's words. Hey, isn't this a big joke? Could it be that the strength of you and Chixing is in the middle and upper reaches of Bikibao? For Aokiji's inquiry, Qing Zhang waved his hand without hesitation. He looked at Aokiji like he was looking at a fool. Yeah. Who gave you the illusion, let you think that your strength can be compared with ours? You must know the battle between Chixing and you. He only used half of his strength, words fall. Aokiji suddenly fell into confusion, the eyes are full of indescribable inconceivable. Half of his strength can crush him? Advertisement? If Chixing releases all his strength, isn't that? Thinking of this, Aokiji couldn't help but gasped. There is also more fear of the powerful force of Bikibao. But on second thought, these are all said by Qingshang himself. He still understands the truth that hearing is believing, but seeing is believing. It seems that Aokiji is still skeptical. Qingshang laughed lightly. Explained Aokiji's biggest disadvantages straight to the point. Because you rely too much on fruit abilities, your physical skills are not strong. But in Beechburg, almost everyone is a master of gymnastics. And Kai Shing and I, together with those rulers. Except for the use of the fruit ability reaching ultimate. Physical skills have reached the pinnacle of living things. Do you think that with the current you, how confident are you that you can defeat me? When the voice fell to the ground, the terrifying coercion burst out from Xingzang's body like a prehistoric beast. The powerful aura set off 100-foot Uzumaki on the bottom of the sea. Click, click. The sound of cracking ice stimulated every nerve of Aokiji like a nightmare. Even though he tried his best to use his fruit ability to maintain it. But still can't stop the puck from breaking, click. The moment the puck shattered, Qing Zhang shot quickly. Recondensed a puck for Aokiji, he just wanted to do an experiment after all. Didn't think about killing Aokiji, sorry, I haven't been active for too long, I accidentally lost my strength. Qing Zhang scratched the back of his head regretfully. Then he asked, how, now can you recognize the gap between us? Aokiji was speechless, although I don't want to admit it. But I have to say, the aura emanating from this guy in front of him. The second one I've seen besides Garp, but because of this. Aokiji had another puzzling doubt, since it is a place where force is respected. Then why is the ruler not a dictator, but a gang? Is it possible that those people are all about the same strength? If so, what a terrifying existence the force of Beechburg must be. Regarding the question posed by Aokiji, Qingshang felt very speechless. Have you forgotten what I said to you at the beginning? There's only one ruler in Beechburg. That's the king who created our Bikini Bottom. Chapter 17 King of Beechburg. The world is shocked. There's only one ruler in Beechburg. That's the king who built Bikini Bottom. The last king word, Qingshang spoke very seriously. At the same time, it also shows Qingzang's admiration and respect for him. Looking at Qingzang's appearance like a little fanboy. Aokiji seemed to see his younger self. He used to admire Garp the most. But his adoration, it is fundamentally different from the worship of Qingshang. What Aokiji admires is Garp's spirit of yearning for freedom. However, what Qingshang worships is to appoint a certain person. For a while, Aokiji seems to be having a hard time reading Qingshang. It seems that there is a huge gap separating them into two worlds. Since it is a person who appeared thousands of years ago. It should have disappeared in the long river of history by now, right? Why do you still worship him so much, just because he created Beechburg? Facing Aokiji's question, Qingshang frowned, he glanced at Aokiji strangely, and asked. Yeah, you have so many problems, it's just that the questions you asked are all ridiculous. Who told that lord disappeared in the long river of history? As soon as this statement comes out, Aokiji was completely stunned. A bold idea is about to come out, is it impossible? How can this be? It seems that Aokiji has already guessed this kind of reaction. Qingshang coughed twice, apologetically, he said. Sorry, I forgot you're not a resident of Beechburg. Qing Zhang scratched the back of his head, didn't seem to know where to start explaining to Aokiji. After thinking for a while, Xingshang coughed twice and explained. Let me tell you so, even if the whole world is destroyed, that lord cannot disappear into the long river of history. Of course, you can totally think I'm talking nonsense. However, when you see the strength of that adult with your own eyes, you won't think I'm joking, although I have never seen the face of that adult. But according to historical records, advertisement, that adult just closed his eyes, a huge underwater city appeared. And that's where Bikini Bottom comes from, to be honest. If it weren't for Qingzhang's serious tone when he said these words, Aokiji will think that this is a temporary story made up by Qingshang. And it's the kind of story that even a child can't be fooled. Seems to have noticed a subtle change in Aokiji's expression. The corner of Qingzhang's mouth twitched, continued. Although the lord did disappear after he built Beechburg. But when that adult left, he left such a passage. Talking, Qingshang stretched out his tentacles, used the frozen fruit ability to freeze ocean water with glowing seaweed. Then condensed into a paragraph of text. I am about to embark on a long journey, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The future of Bikini Bottom is temporarily in your hands, close black lens bracket. When the evil dissipates, close black lens bracket, the light will also return to Bikini Bottom, close black lens bracket. With the broadcast of this passage, the whole world suddenly went into an uproar. Are you kidding me? How can someone live 1,000 years without dying? Indeed, although these murlocs are very powerful, they just have no brains. That's right, as long as what he says is not so ridiculous, I will believe it. Created an underwater city by closing your eyes? Can such a whimsical thing be taken seriously? What a waste of a powerful body. If I were a resident of Beechburg and there is such a strong strength. Leave Beechburg a long time ago to become the king. How could it be possible to stay in that broken trench and wait for a guy whose life and death are unknown? I agree with this, as long as I can have such a powerful force. Not to mention such whimsical things as dominating the world. But it should be no problem to dominate one side and become the king of an empire, right? Hey, you guys, stop talking big here, and watch out for the king's army to arrest you all. As things continued to ferment in the meeting room of Marine headquarters. Report to Marshal Sengoku, there are riots happening on many islands around the world. Mostly, it's because those common people want to meet that lord, that Qingshang said. So make pirates, gangsters, and all other underground forces evil. And threaten to destroy it, as a result, large-scale rush and war. Advertisement, the kings from all over the world are very troubled by this, and they have asked Marine to stop playing the screen. Listening to the report of your subordinates, Sengoku seemed to have expected it. Directly order people to throw all these shitty things to the world government. After all, the impact of the Beechburg incident on the world now. It has long exceeded the range that Marine can accept. Not to mention that Marines cannot intervene in wars between countries. Even if you can interfere, they are helpless. After all, most of Marine's troops are now transferred to the Fishman Island. As for the playback of the termination screen, even if Sengoku is willing, the world government will definitely not agree. After all, they still have to rely on this to learn the secrets of Bikini Bottom. As for Morgans, even the world government has nothing to do with him. Don't even count on Marine. If it is forcibly suspended, it is bound to arouse public dissatisfaction. At that time, I am afraid that the whole world will set off riots. Coupled with the emergence of the mysterious and powerful force of Beechburg. Marine's most important thing right now, it is to determine whether the residents of Beechburg are hostile to the creatures on the land. Thinking of Qingzhang's powerful strength, Sengoku felt very headache. After all, Qingshang once said, Beechburg is a place where force reigns supreme. This also means, Bikini Bottom is a superpower comparable to, even far surpassing Marine. Certainly, for the adult Qingshang said, Sengoku didn't believe it from the beginning. Just pretend it's a Beechburg fairy tale. Can a city be created by closing one's eyes? You can't make up stories like this, but it's such an absurd thing. Akainu disagrees, he said without hesitation, Marshal Sengoku. The existence of Bikini Bottom has subverted our understanding of the world. Plus that guy named Qingshang, it doesn't seem like you're joking. Chapter 18:5 Elders Worries, the Knights of God are dispatched. The moment Akainu's voice hit the ground, Kizaru, who was trimming his nails, immediately retorted. Sakazuki, don't say such stupid things in the future. It just makes you look stupid. Akainu, who was humiliated in public, will naturally not be used to Kizaru. Advertisement immediately rebuked. If you don't want this mouth, I don't mind tearing him up for you. Don't talk like that, Sakazuki, you're really scary like this. Shut up. Akainu slammed the table and got up angrily. Pointing at Kizaru's nose, he shouted angrily, what the hell do you want? Looking at Kizaru and Akainu, who are arguing endlessly. Sengoku, who was already suffering from a headache because of the beach, suddenly felt angry. Immediately rebuked. Shut up, both of you. Is this the time for you two bastards to mess around? Sakazuki, you keep expressing your opinion, everyone else shut up. Seeing Sengoku standing on his side, Akainu can't keep getting angry anymore. After a cold snort, then he expressed his views on Beechburg. From Beechburg to the public eye, it subverts our perception of the world all the time. If that murloc named Qingshang is not talking nonsense. Whether it is Marine or world government, there will be a huge change. Even the whole world will be turned upside down. As Akainu's words fell, the breathing of everyone present couldn't help but also began to become rapid. As Akainu puts it, if all this is true, the whole world will undergo earth-shaking changes. Sengoku frowned, fell into a brief moment of contemplation. Leaving aside for a moment the possibility that Akainu is talking about is zero? Even if there is only a 1% chance, will affect the whole world. This is really an incredible event, after thinking for a long time. Sengoku slowly sat back in the chair. Is there any news from the world government? This kind of incident is no longer something that Marine alone can interfere with. Facing Sengoku's inquiry, the Marine soldier on the side responded. Report to Marshal Sengoku, in addition to asking us to send troops to the Fishman Island as soon as possible, the world government. No message was delivered. Advertisement, is that so? Sengoku put his hands together in front of his mouth. After a few seconds of hesitation, just then he opened his mouth and said. Then act according to the arrangement of the world government. Because this incident is too important, Sakazuki, Paluzolino, you two quickly muster your troops and head to the Fishman Island. Yes. X2. At the same time, Pangu City, inside the Hall of Power. Report to Lord Five Elders, because civilians all over the world want to meet the old man, that Qingshang said. As a result, riots broke out on many islands. Now the kings of various countries strongly demand that the screen be turned off. Listening to the report of your subordinates, known as the god of martial arts, Topman Wochu Lisheng snorted coldly. With a very indifferent tone, he said, tell those kings, let them figure out their own way. A group of foolish people can't keep their mouths shut, so what kind of king are they? If you really can't control it, then let those underground forces kill those foolish people who talk too much. Words fall. The other 4 or 5 elders sitting beside them also scoffed at this. Riots caused by hilarity, this can only show that those foolish people are looking for death. No wonder others, moreover, a few foolish lives. How can it be compared with the treasures of Beechburg? Let them do this kind of shit. The most urgent thing now is to find out if that murloc named Qingshang is making up a story. As the voice of Topman Volbali's holy words falls, the entire Hall of Power fell into dead silence in an instant. Immortality for 1,000 years? This may be a whimsical thing for ordinary people. But in the eyes of the 5 elders, it is something that is not impossible. Long silence, see no one speaks, Topman Wochu Lisheng spoke again. No matter what, we must investigate clearly, if this legend is true. In the end, Topman Wochu Lisheng's face gradually became gloomy. The remaining 4 or 5 elders saw this, did not continue this topic. Because this matter is too harmful to the world government. Advertisement create a city in the blink of an eye? Only God can do this kind of thing, and the descendants of the self-proclaimed gods. The 5 elders are absolutely unrecognizable, seeing that the atmosphere in the Hall of Power is gradually becoming dignified. Topman Wochu Lisheng said again, how are those new world guys doing now? When everyone listens, his complexion gradually improved, and he immediately said. According to the news, some branch house guys are about to arrive at the Fishman Island. The Marine led by Garp will also arrive at the Fishman Island. Notice, let Garp hold those guys as long as possible, so that our people can sneak into the Fishman Island to grab the treasure. But what if what the murlocs said is true? Like the Amazon lily, the whole city is a master of gymnastics. And there are even more powerful rulers. With our people alone, I'm afraid. In the end, the 5 elders fell silent again. Whether it is, that lord, or the ruler. None of those CP cipher pole can compete with existence. Do you want to dispatch the Knights of God? Just for those guys to go out and work their shins? Send them to the Fishman Island to lurk first. Before confirming the truth inside Bikini Castle, let those pirates explore the way for us. At the same time, South Blue, Crystal Island. Al looked at Qingshang with a confused face, can't help thinking. When did I write this paragraph? Could it be that the system added something extra when it fused the ones I wrote? Although I don't know what happened, but Al just thinks for a moment and then ignores it. After all, this is not a bad thing for him, as long as the energy keeps bringing him mysterious points. Leave doubts behind, Al immediately chose to continue the lottery. What a mess the world is, nothing can stop the enthusiasm for the lottery. Go 10 times in a row, looking at the golden light flashing in front of my eyes. Al's mood immediately brightened, ding, congratulations to host for getting. Chapter 19 Bikini Bottom shocked, that adult is coming back? Ding, congratulations to host for getting the ability Extractor X1. Ding, the mysterious legend of Bikini Bottom has been recognized by 40% of the world's population. Congratulations to host for unlocking new features, please host to understand. With the sound of the system landing, Al can't wait to check the props he just got. Because just look at the name, you know this is a prop that can improve your own strength. And what he lacks most now, it is strength, to know. Now because of the fermentation of the Bikini Bot incident. There is a trace of riots in the whole world, if you don't strengthen your own strength. The safety of life will not be guaranteed. Ability Extractor. You can select a material character and extract all the abilities of that character, close black lens bracket. After a quick glance at the prop's introduction, Al's eyes lit up immediately. However, extracting someone's ability made him face a difficult situation. Huang dear, brother Zhang, Al chose to ignore these 2 newly created characters. To choose, naturally choose the strongest, Glitter Fruit, Logia Speed Ceiling. Frozen Fruit, Logia Controlled Ceiling, Lava Fruit, Logia killer ceiling. Think for a moment, Al finally chose the glitter fruit. The reason why I chose the shining fruit, the main reason is that the ability of the flash fruit is more comprehensive. Can attack, retreat, and AoE damage. Congratulations to host for successfully extracting all of Huang Mian's abilities. Close black lens bracket. With subtitles popping up, Al only felt that his body had undergone earth-shaking changes. Like a warm current, decompose and reorganize the cells of the whole body. After a brief bliss, Al quickly lost interest. After all, the body has not fully adapted to the ability of devil fruit just obtained. I want to control the elementalization of my body as I wish like Kizaru. It takes a lot of time to get used to it, in contrast. New features are more attractive, advertisement after all, the ability of sparkling fruit is already possessed. You can experience it whenever you want, open the page for new features. 5 avatar frames flashing with different lights come into view. Just a glance, Al fell silent, just because this scene is as high as 80% similar to a certain game page under Mi Huyu. With doubts, Al clicked on an avatar at random. Next second, a figure resembling SpongeBob SquarePants suddenly appeared in front of him. At the same time, inside a pineapple-shaped house in Beechburg, Huang Mian, who was feeding the snails, suddenly stopped what he was doing. Staring at the door with doubts on his face, he said coldly, "Who? Which guy is spying on this old man?" Looking at Huang Mian, who was rummaging around in the pineapple house. Al was stunned for a moment. The current situation was quickly understood. Emotion is a new function that can communicate with material characters. When the voice fell to the ground, Huang Mian's body quickly turned into particles. When the body was condensed again, it was already in a desolate sandy land. "Who is it?" Facing Huang Mian's questioning, after thinking for a moment, Al said in a deep voice. "Can't you hear my voice?" It seems to have noticed something. Huang Mian narrowed his eyes slightly, his tone became colder and colder. "Scientist, are you alive?" After a brief moment of silence, Al spoke again. "When the evil dissipates, the light will return to Bikini Bottom." As Al's voice fell, the expression on Huang Mian's face gradually changed from shock to excitement. "My lord, is that you? You are finally back. Do you know, days without you." Advertisement. Looking at the chattering Huang Mian, Alton felt a headache and hurriedly interrupted. "Be quiet, I know you are very excited now, but don't get excited." Huang Mian hummed lightly, wiping away the tears from the corners of his eyes. He asked very respectfully, "My lord, when are you going back to Beechburg? I'll let everyone know." Regarding Huang Mian's inquiry, Al didn't choose to respond positively. After all, his body has not yet fully adapted to the sparkling fruit's ability. Plus Bikini Bottom is now the target of public criticism. He doesn't want to expose himself in front of the whole world. After all, he is not a person who likes trouble. After a short thought, Al responded, "I'm currently dealing with some things on an island on land. I'll go back to Beechburg after I finish dealing with the matter here. You pass this matter on for me first." Words fall. Before Huang Mian could respond, Al decisively cut off contact with Huang Mian. He didn't want his ears to suffer anymore. The fact is just as Al expected. After listening to Al's words, Huang Mian really chattered for several minutes. Until I feel Al's voice no longer ringing, Huang Mian reluctantly left the sandy land. After returning to the town of Beechburg, Huang Mian didn't stop at all. Quickly spread the news of Al's presence throughout the streets. In less than half an hour, the whole Beechburg fell into an unprecedented carnival. "Huang dear, Qing Zhang and Pai Xing haven't come back from the border yet? Senior Chixing went to see Senior Qingshang not long ago, but he hasn't returned yet. What's the matter, uncle?" Senior eagerness. "Has something serious happened?" Regarding Huang dear's inquiry, Huang Mian gave a general description of what happened before in an excited tone. Then he said, "Go to the border and find Qing Zhang and Kai Xing. I'm going to call those guys for an emergency meeting at Bikini Bottom." Chapter 20. Beechburg is alive. The forces of all parties rioted. Beechburg border. As mentioned in Chapter Qing, Aokiji remained skeptical. After all, this thing is too magical. Especially those few passages that Qingshang condensed with seawater. Aokiji only thinks this is a legend in Bikini Bottom. After all, every place has its own legend. This is not unusual. So much so that Qingshang didn't bother to continue at the end. "Yeah, you're such a headache," Qingshang yawned and said again. "Since you don't believe me, then I won't talk nonsense." Talking, Qingshang stretched his waist. There was no emotion on his face. "Okay, enough nonsense has been said, let's hurry up and get on the road." Words fall, looking at Qingshang standing motionless in the same place. Aokiji couldn't help feeling a little puzzled. "Isn't it on the road? What are we still doing here?" Before Aokiji finished speaking, Qing Zhang stretched out his tentacles and put them in front of his mouth, complaining. "Shish. Can't you be quieter? B*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Seeing Qingzhang's impatient look, Aokiji closed his mouth wisely, not daring to make the slightest sound. After all, he didn't dare to annoy Qingshang in this place. A long time, seeing that Qingshang still didn't make any moves. Aokiji couldn't help muttering, "This guy won't fall asleep, will he?" Just when Aokiji was thinking about whether to speak, a dazzling red gold beam of light soared into the sky. Next second, a deafening roar exploded from the ground. What happens? Aokiji subconsciously reinforced the firmness of the frozen bubble. And Qingshang stood there calmly, as if everything was expected. As the roar became more piercing, on the ground in the center of the red gold beam of light, slowly raise a cylindrical glass container. Don't be dazed, let's go. Qingshang came to the glass container first and waved to Aokiji. What is this? Aokiji hesitated for a few seconds. Advertisement then under the urging of Qingzhang. Slowly entered the container. In the next second after entering the container, the sudden weightlessness made Aokiji's nerves tense. But seeing that Qingshang still didn't intend to speak, Aokiji didn't ask any more questions, instead start thinking how to get out when facing those rulers next. After all, he didn't want to just die here. As the sense of weightlessness gradually disappears, the dark container gradually brightened up, until the feeling of weightlessness completely disappears. A dreamlike city slowly appeared in front of Aokiji. Looking at the city in front of you, all made of silver-white metal. Aokiji's eyes were full of shock. Blue sky, white clouds, silver-white vegetation, a boat with wheels? Is this the real Bikini Bottom? It's incredible. A sense of déjà vu, like Grandma Lu entering the Grand View Garden, appeared on Aokiji. Until a few minutes passed, Aokiji couldn't recover from the shock either. At this time, a little girl passing by with a balloon seemed to have discovered something. With a light snort, dragging her mother, he quickly ran to Qingshang and exclaimed, Mom, look, it's the cruel Admiral Qingshang-sama. While the voice sounded, a large number of residents of Beechburg suddenly poured in from all directions and surrounded Qingshang. Master Qingshang, can you give me an autograph? Master Qingshang, can I kiss you? With more and more people. Qingshang inevitably had some headaches, hurriedly dragging Aokiji away from the crowd. After trotting for some distance, seeing no one following, Qingzhang could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. Looking at Qingshang, who looks like a thief, Aokiji couldn't help laughing and joked. Yeah, I didn't expect you to be quite popular, otherwise, why do you think I went to guard the border? Qingshang glared at Aokiji angrily, and said, Remove the bubbles, there's air in Bikini Bottom. Words fall, Qingshang walked into the depths of Bikibao without looking back. Air? Advertisement with a state of shock and doubt. Aokiji slowly stepped out of the bubble, feeling the long-lost fresh air. Aokiji's attitude toward the underwater city of Beechburg has also changed subtly. Followed Qingzhang's footsteps and continued to go deep into Beechburg. What I saw and heard along the way completely overturned Aokiji's worldview. While the outside world, looking at the dreamlike city in the picture, the whole world is completely blown up. Is this Bikini Bottom? It's unbelievable. At first I thought the ruins in the trench were Beechburg. I didn't expect that the real Beechburg would be such a city. The Fishman Island appeared in the sky, I can understand. But there's no Sunshine Eve in Beechburg. The most surprising thing is that there is still air in Beechburg. How did those guys do it? Could it be that Lord created it? Ordinary civilians, after seeing the true face of Beechburg. Almost all shocking and unbelievable, but after seeing the true face of Beechburg, the leaders of the major forces. It is greed and eagerness all over the face, after all, for them. Having air and not having air are completely two concepts. This also caused countless forces that had been dissuaded by Qingshang to ignite their greed again. Pengdu City, in the Hall of Power, the 5 elders urgently ordered. All CP Cipher Pool members are requested to quickly invade Bikini Bottom. Take the treasure, and Marine is still stationed on the Fishman Island to stop the pirates. After the 4 emperors heard the news, I feel very disdain for the behavior of the world government. Gu la la la. Little ones, we will soon arrive at the waters of the Fishman Island. Cheer up, Laozi. Mama. As long as you take down the treasure hidden in Bikini Bottom, I will definitely rule the whole world. Worororo. Hiccup tilde, world government. Whitebeard. Humph, Beechburg must belong to Laozi. The situation is getting out of control. I really don't know what kind of war will break out on the bottom of the sea. Chapter 21 Mr. 1. What the hell is the boss's ancestral grave being dug up? When the whole world is crazy about Bikini Bottom, Aokiji is like a curious baby, all kinds of inquiries about everything about Bikini Bottom. When Qingzhang, who was a little impatient with the noise, just wanted to get angry, the figure that appeared in front of him immediately made him gasp. Advertisement looking at the yellow square gradually approaching them. Aokiji frowned. It seems that the yellow square in front of me always feels kind of like some guy who's stamping a sewing machine. But for a while, Aokiji can't remember who it is. Until the other party's deep and hoarse voice sounded. Senior Qingshang, my uncle Huang Mian has something to ask you for. Words fall, Aokiji's eyes widened involuntarily. Subconsciously said, Sand crocodile, what is the situation? 1 or 2 can be understood, after all, the world is big and full of wonders. But what about the third? Continued to feel the magic of nature. With doubts, Aokiji asked, Qingzhang, who is that guy? Can you tell me more about it? Seems to be puzzled by Aokiji's request. Or they are not willing to talk to the guy in front of them. Qingzhang glared at Aokiji angrily and said coldly. Never, ask yourself and ask yourself. Words fall. Qingshang put his hands on his chest and turned his head away. Upon seeing this, as long as a sensible person, everyone can guess that there must be some contradiction between the green chapter and the yellow square. Aokiji did not continue to question him, however, the other party ran to Qingshang very anxiously. Hey, Senior Qingshang, did you hear what I said? My uncle Huang Mian has something important to see you. Seeing that Qingshang didn't speak, Huang Deer was smoking a cigar, frowning. Slowly put his eyes on Aokiji, in a haughty manner. Hey, brat, who are you? The corner of Aokiji's mouth twitched, and he thought to himself. This look that deserves a beating is really like that B*************** D sand crocodile. But out of courtesy, and want to solve the doubts in my heart. Aokiji was not offended by his unreasonable behavior. Instead, he explained to him with a smile on his face. I am. Unexpectedly, the other party was not interested in listening to Aokiji's self-introduction at all. Directly interrupted. Advertisement, smelly brat, go play. Don't bother me to report to Senior Qingshang, words fall. Qingshang seemed a little impatient, a chestnut hammered down, and said in a cold voice. Shaw Crocker Wongder, can you speak well, boy? Senior Qingzhang, can you please call me Huang Deer? Shut up, talk quickly, I don't want to hear your nonsense. What's your attitude? Huang Deer's tone was drawn out, and his attitude became more and more arrogant. If it wasn't for my uncle Huang Mian who came to look for me. I'm too lazy to come to you B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Huang Deer is getting stronger. Aokiji stepped back subconsciously. I'm afraid that these two guys will accidentally hurt themselves when they fight suddenly. But for Huang Deer's name, Aokiji couldn't help but fell into deep thought. Sir Crocodile. Shaw Croc Yellowdale. This name. Yeah, if it has nothing to do with that sand crocod. That's a bit of self-deception. It wasn't just Aokiji who had such doubts. Morgans moved it directly to the world, not only wantonly spreading rumors that Huang Deer is the ancestor of the sand crocodile. Even directly changed Huang Deer's name to Huang Dar. Its purpose is for Boruto eyeballs. This has also caused countless people to be somewhat confused about this. As the news came out, the rumor spread further, inside the kingdom castle in the center of Dressrosa. Don Quixote Doflamingo leaned against the window. A playful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Foo. That stupid bird of Morgan's is really not afraid of death. But, that guy's bad taste is really interesting. I don't know that Sand Crocod guy saw this newspaper in Impel Down. What a look on your face. Foo. At the same time. Underwater prison, Impel Down. Director Magellan, there's another big news coming out of Bikini Bottom. The jailer ran down the aisle holding the newspaper with excitement on his face. For the boring submarine prison. The contents of the newspapers. It became the happiest thing for this jailer to pass his time every day. Especially the news that broke out in the Beechburg incident. Almost everyone can make them happy for a long time. Open Magellan's exclusive office. The smile on the jailer's face froze suddenly. Puzzled. Haniable Deputy Director. Why are you sitting in the director's seat again? Please call me Commissioner Haniable. Advertisement. Haniable patted the table lightly. What happened to Bikini Bottom again? Don't talk, let me guess. The ancestor of Marine Admiral Kizaru appeared. The jailer shook his head. Haniable asked again. Is Magellan dead? Quote. A trace of cold sweat broke out on the jailer's forehead. Softly reminded. Haniable Deputy Director, please stop making such jokes. If Commissioner Magellan hears, you will be scolded again. Heard that, Haniable gave a disdainful cut, and murmured. Sooner or later, the position of director will be mine. Quote. The jailer chuckled lightly. With a face full of embarrassment, he handed the newspaper in his hand to Haniable. Deputy Director, there's a guy who appears to be a crocodile ancestor in Beechburg. This is a photo. Looking at the photocopied photos in the newspaper. Haniable blinked, laughed loudly. Ha. Why is the ancestor of crocodile so sponge-like? Quote. The jailer smiled awkwardly and said. Deputy Director. Is it possible that this is a sponge? Quote. As the rumors of Huang Deer and Lao Sha gradually spread throughout Impel Down. Soon, prisoners and jailers throughout Impel Down. Everyone relished rumors about the crocodile. Due to the fact that Impel Down doesn't distribute newspapers to everyone. This also led to multiple versions of Lao Sha's rumors. Impel Down the 4th floor. Blazing hell. As Mr. 1, the former chief of Baroque Works. At this time, he was eavesdropping on the conversation between the jailers with a serious face. Have you heard? Crocodile's enemy actually dug up his ancestral grave. Where did you hear this version? Shouldn't have been caught because of crocodile. Did his ancestor crawl out of the ground in anger? But then again, why is Sir Crocodile's ancestor named Huang Deer? The name is really strange. Quote. Listen. Mr. 1's face is full of doubts. What the hell happened to boss's ancestral grave? Chapter 22 Lao Sha. Who the hell is spreading rumors about Laozi outside? What the hell was the boss ancestral grave dug up? Mr. 1 was very puzzled after hearing these rumors. How much enmity would it take to not even let the ancestral graves go? Could it be those guys from Alabasta? Thinking of this. Advertisement. Mr. 1 suddenly felt. The folks of Alabasta must have done it. After all, in the Alabasta incident, what Lao Sha has done has plunged the entire Alabasta into a huge crisis. so to speak, digging ancestral graves. It seems that it is still in the past. After clearing my mind, Mr. One stared deeply at the iron railing. Is this the so-called retribution? Quote. At the same time. Impel Down the 6th floor. Eternal hell. There is a rotten atmosphere in the dark tunnel. The wailing sound from time to time is even more heart-palpitating. Even if jailers walk in eternal hell, I can't help but feel a chill. However, today's eternal hell. But like the new year. Very lively. Hey, have you heard? The guys in Marine are going too far. To actually dig up other people's ancestral graves, this is simply inhuman. Of course I've heard about such a big thing. It is said that the guy whose ancestral grave was dug seems to be locked up at level 6 like us. Is it true or not? Which unlucky guy is so miserable? Quote. Listening to the discussions around me, Lao Sha snorted coldly with disdain, and said sarcastically. What a bunch of idiots. Do you believe this kind of news without any evidence? But sarcasm is sarcasm. In this dark cell, to be able to have fun watching. Lao Sha naturally would not refuse. I heard that the guy whose ancestral grave was dug up seems to be called Crocodile. Do any of you know this guy? Advertisement. Crocodile. Isn't that guy a Shichibukai? Hey, the dog of the world government. He deserves to be dug up. Hey, you're talking Crocodile. Is that the brat who got beat up and cried by that Whitebeard guy over 20 years ago? Ha 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 ha. Amid unbridled sneers, the prisoners immediately chatted unscrupulously after Crocodile became Shichibukai. And how to get caught for things like Impel Down. After all, as a dog abandoned by the world government. And a guy who was publicly exhumed by Marine. No matter from which point of view. It's all fun to talk about for a long time. Unnoticed, however. At this time, Lao Sha, who was squatting in the cell, looked livid. The scarlet eyes are full of strong killing intent. Which B***********D is behind Laozi's rumors. The enraged Lao Sha suddenly got up. Just when he was about to scold those bastards, a joking shout sounded from nowhere. Hey, it's time to stop making silly jokes, right? Didn't you say that guy named Crocodile is at level 6? Which unlucky guy it is, stand up and let Laozi see. As soon as this remark came out, immediately aroused the sympathy of all prisoners. Instead of talking about these boring things here, call out Crocodile and laugh in his face. That's more fun. Although it is also on the 6th floor of Impel Down. But if they don't reveal their identities to each other, it is also impossible to know who the guy in the cell next to him is. Crocodile, come out and let Laozi see you, a wild dog abandoned by the world government. That's right, get out and make Laozi happy. The ancestral graves have been dug up, but they can still sit still. Crocodile, Laozi respects you for being a man, ha 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 ha. Playful shouts resounded through the entire eternal hell like a wave. Even many silent monsters, also attracted by this rarity. Hey, Bullet, why didn't Marine dig up your D's grave? Ha ha ha. Shouldn't the family grave of that B**********D Shiryu be the most dignified? Katerina Dupont, I really want to dig up your ancestral grave. Bacchus choked. Sooner or later, Laozi will dig up your ancestral grave to relieve his anger, ha ha ha. Quote. Advertisement. For a while, all criminals are vengeful vengeance. Hey without hatred. And Lao Sha clasped the fence tightly with both hands. His eyes are full of anger. Although few people are calling his name now. But those provocative voices, but it's like a sharp piercing through the heart. Shut up Laozi all you bastards. Lao Sha let out a loud voice. The entire eternal hell was silent for a few seconds. Immediately afterwards, several disdainful and joking voices sounded at the same time. What are you worthy of yelling here? Little devil, while Laozi's mood isn't too bad right now. Apologize now, Laozi can let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, when Laozi goes out, I will definitely dig your ancestral grave. As soon as this remark came out, immediately caused everyone to roar with laughter. Next second, it seems that someone recognized Lao Sha's voice. Laughed loudly. That guy is Crocodile, and his ancestral grave has been dug up by the Marine. What else are you going to plan? Take the bones back from Marine and plan again. Word off. That's when people realize, the guy who just yelled was Crocodile. See, Crocodile has stepped up. The contradictions of all the prisoners were directed at Lao Sha in an instant. To insult, to humiliate, to ridicule, to ridicule. Prisoners throughout eternal hell, everyone treated Lao Sha like a clown. In the face of countless abuse and humiliation, Lao Sha couldn't hold back at all. Looking up to the sky and screaming, he roared angrily. You bastards, Laozi, shut your stinking mouths. Don't let Laozi out, otherwise, Laozi will definitely let that B*********D who spread rumors die without a burial. Chapter 23 Ace was arrested, the first step of Blackbeard's ambition. Ha Chu. Huang Deer sneezed. He glanced at Aokiji unkindly. Are you kid talking bad about me? Quote. See Huang Deer suddenly changed the subject. The impatience on Qingzong's face became more and more obvious. Okay, I don't have time to waste time with you brat. Hurry up and tell me what that guy Huang Mian wants from me. Senior Qingzong, pay attention to your attitude. Huang Deer snorted coldly, and said slowly. Uncle Huang Mian received a message from that lord. That's why I specially asked you and Senior Kai Xing to inform you. Talking. Huang Deer glanced back and forth beside Qingzong. By the way, didn't Senior Kai Xing look for you? Why is there no sign of him? Facing Huang Deer's inquiry. Qingzong did not respond. Instead, he stood there dumbly. Shock was written all over her face. Are you sure that Lord contacted Huang Mian? This kind of joke can't be played casually. Senior Qingzong, if you are deaf, go to a nursing home as soon as possible. It just so happens that I can become the new seafood admiral as a matter of course. Huang Deer glanced at Qingzong with contempt. At Bikini Bottom. Who dares to make fun of that adult? After being confirmed again by Huang Deer. The astonishment on Qingzong's face was gradually replaced by joy. Has the Lord returned to Beechburg now? Where are Huang Mian and those guys now? Help me see if my outfit is okay. Quote. A series of non-repetitive questions are thrown. Huang Deer looked at Qingzong with disgust in his eyes. See what you look like. Can you show the mentality that Seafood Admiral should have? Realizing that he had lost his composure, Qingzong coughed lightly. With a very serious tone, he asked. Did the Lord say when he will be back? What should I wear? Advertisement. Seeing that Qingzong was about to start chattering again. Huang Deer hastily interrupted. Stop. Can you calm down a little bit? That adult didn't tell Uncle Huang Mian when he will return. But one thing is certain. That Lord is the outside world now. To be precise, it's on an island on land. Talking. Huang Deer suddenly paused for a moment. It seems to be recalling what Huang Mian once said to him. After thinking for a while, Huang Deer continued. I remembered. The Lord once said, he will come back after he finishes handling the matter at hand. So can you tell me the whereabouts of Senior Red Star now? As soon as this remark came out, the whole world suddenly fell into dead silence. Is it true? Isn't that Lord, the legend of Baikonurberg? Idiot. Who told you it was a legend? Indeed, that murloc named Qingzong has never denied the existence of that Lord. Is that the point? Didn't you hear what that yellow square said? That Lord is on an island on land right now. As soon as the voice fell, countless people gasped, compared with the shock of ordinary people. Pangu City, inside the Hall of Rites. When the five elders heard what Huang Deer said. His complexion is extremely bad. Jagarcia Satan, who has the title of Valkyrie of Science Defense. The voice was hoarse and said, it seems that we still can't escape this topic. I've seen it all come to this point. The other five elders also had to say. I don't want to express any opinions before I get the truth of the matter. Hey, is that interesting? Okay, everyone be quiet. I don't think Topman Volbalison's point of view makes sense. Right now we know very little about Beechburg. Advertisement. Can't verify whether what they said is true. But just in case, I suggest sending some people to investigate. This is indeed the safest way. If you can't find it, just assume it's a myth created by the residents of Beechburg. If found. Talking. Jagarcia Satan's tone gradually became cold. This world does not need the appearance of a second god. Words fall. A hurried voice suddenly sounded outside the Hall of Rites. Report to Lord Five Elders. There's a pirate named Blackbeard who wants to talk to you about being a Shichibukai. Blackbeard. Topman Waokyu Lisheng frowned slightly. Asked. Who is that guy? The unknown little pirate is also worthy of discussing the position of Shichibukai. Just when Topman Wobalison was about to order him out. Marcus Masheng, who is known as the god of the environment, interrupted. Blackbeard. I seem to have heard of him. That guy seems to be one of Whitebeard's men. But for killing the captain of Whitebeard's second squad. Thus being wanted by the Whitebeard pirates. After listening to the words of Marcus Masheng. You five elders scoffed at this. He sarcastically said. The forest is so big that it has everything. If you really can't survive, you want to join the world government to continue your life. What is that guy's world government? Is it a welfare home or a guest house? Order someone to kill him. The world government doesn't need such a thing. When the five elders unanimously decided to put Blackbeard to death. The men outside the door spoke again. Report to Lord Five Elders. The pirate named Blackbeard said. He captured the last bloodline left by the One Piece King Roger in this world. And ask, are you qualified to negotiate? Chapter 24. Prelude to the Storm, Whitebeard, Marine Evacuation the Fishmen Island. Roger's last blood in this world. After hearing this passage. Five elders are all trembling. A paragraph of words appeared in my mind. When the evil dissipates. Close black lens bracket. The light will also return to Bikini Bottom. Close black lens bracket. Although only a flash of inspiration. But it made five elders feel a little surprised. However, the five of them did not say anything about it. Because this matter involves too much. No one wants to continue that topic. But if you really want to ask, who is the heaviest sinner in this world? Five elders answered without hesitation. Roger. Relatively, a fellow of Roger's blood. It must be the most evil existence in this world. To this end, five elders attaches great importance to this matter. After a short discussion, the five elders communicated with Blackbeard for a moment using the phone bug. During their communication, from the depths of the sea near the Fishmen Island, Moby DK, looking at the Fishman Island which is close at hand. Whitebeard stood up. Pull out the needle on your body casually. Laugh out loud. Gu la la la. Little ones. I'm about to enter the Fishman Island. Cheer up Laozi. As Whitebeard's voice fell, the pirates on the ship raised their weapons one after another. Shouted in unison. The treasure of Beechburg must belong to our Whitebeard pirates. Quote. Just when the fighting spirit of the pirates on the ship reached its peak, a hasty shout sounded out of place. Father, something is wrong. We just got the news. Master Ace lost the battle with that traitor in Blackbeard. And that be ********* Blackbeard. That be ******** D. When uttering these words, that subordinate trembled uncontrollably. Tears continued. It seems that Master Ace is going to be handed over to the world government in exchange for Shichibukai's position. As soon as this remark came out. Advertisement. The entire Moby DK was suddenly shouted and cursed. Whitebeard has blue veins on his forehead. Angry. Teach. The angry low roar caused the surrounding sea water to vibrate violently. Looking at the bubble membrane that is about to burst, Marco hurriedly said, Father, calm down first, this is the deep sea. The rest saw this. They also persuaded one after another. Father, calm down first. Losing your temper won't solve the problem. That's right. The most urgent thing is to find a way to save Ace. Quote. After some persuasion, see the bubble film gradually stabilized. Everyone couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. But Whitebeard still stood there with an angry face. Teach, Laozi must sink UB******** D into the bottom of the sea. Return at full speed, no matter what the cost. I, Whitebeard, will never abandon my family. While the voice sounded, the crowd shouted in unison. Absolute. Get Ace out. Quote. With the departure of the Whitebeard pirates, Marine soldiers stationed on the Fishman Island immediately report this news to Marine headquarters. The Whitebeard pirates are back. Sengoku narrowed his eyes slightly. A trace of doubt could not help but arise in my heart. Crane, what do you think Whitebeard is doing this for? Facing Sengoku's inquiry, the Crane pondered for a long time. But it doesn't provide any useful information. After all, who knows what this guy Whitebeard is thinking? But the only thing that is certain is that something big must have happened. Otherwise, according to Whitebeard's character, even if it is a dragon's pond and a tiger's lair, he will also break in without hesitation. While everyone was racking their brains to think the answer to the puzzle that was completely solved by the order from the world government. When hearing the news that the world government has captured Ace, Sengoku couldn't help but tremble. Hastily asked, where is that Garp guy now? Report to Marshal Sengoku. According to the calculation of time. Advertisement. Vice Admiral Garp should have just arrived on the Fishman Island by now. Heard that, Sengoku didn't even think about it. Directly order Garp to rush back to Marine headquarters from the Fishman Island. Besides, even Kizaru and Akainu were called back to Marine HQ. Seeing this, Marine Vice Admiral couldn't help but said, Marshal Sengoku, why are you so eager to call them back? Didn't the world government tell us to garrison the Fishman Island and keep pirates away? Facing the inquiry from the Marine Vice Admiral, Sengoku didn't explain too much. It was just a few perfunctory words, and it was done hastily. And this meeting, Sengoku didn't continue either. Only the high-level Marines in the room looked at each other. Seeing this, the Crane hurriedly chased it out. He asked, Sengoku, what do you think that Whitebeard guy is going to do? Heard that, Sengoku frowned and asked, what do you think that guy can't do? Quote. As news of the Marines' retreat from the Fishman Island reached the Five Elders. For this behavior of Sengoku, Five Elders are very dissatisfied. But contact Sengoku. But before the Five Elders could speak, Sengoku was the first to question Five Elders. Why catch Ace at this juncture? Facing Sengoku's angry questioning, the Five Elders were all taken aback. Then he warned Sengoku with a sullen face to be careful. However, Sengoku, who was in a fit of anger, didn't give Five Elders a good look at all. Directly stated a series of consequences after capturing Ace. And urged the Five Elders. The outside world must not let the news of Ace's arrest be known. After careful consideration, Five Elders also agreed with Sengoku's opinion. Only the news that Blackbeard became Shichibukai was released. However, this news did not cause much sensation. Because at this time the eyes of the whole world are focused on Bikini Bottom. Only, Al, who wasn't paying attention to Bikini Bottom. After hearing the news that Blackbeard became Shichibukai. But he frowned and murmured. Did Ace get caught so soon? It looks like I have to make some preparations. Chapter 25 Changes in the World Situation, Don Quixote, Chapter, Duofran debuts. Emergency evacuation of Marine and Whitebeard. It also caused many forces to notice a hint of it. But they didn't think much of it. Just keep an eye out. Just in case Whitebeard and Marine trip them up in the back. At the same time, 10,000 meters above the sky. Golden Lion listened to his subordinate's report. Can't help laughing out loud. Gee ha ha ha, that Whitebeard guy got away. Forget it, I wanted to unite with that guy to rule Beechburg. Since he doesn't have such a blessing, let Laozi do it himself. Gee ha ha ha. Quote. Queen Mother Anthem aboard. BIGMOM is eating dessert. With a happy face, he laughed loudly and said, "Mama, the Fishman Island that Whitebeard and Marine evacuated. It's really good news. In this way, all the treasures in Beechburg will belong to my mother. Mama. Quote. Beasts pirates. Aboard the Mammoth. Master Jack, we are about to enter the waters of the Fishman Island. Is there any news from Master Kaido?" Words fall. Jack squinted his eyes and glared fiercely at his subordinates. "Are you questioning Laozi? No. Dare not. Then shut your mouth and move on to Laozi. Even without Kaido, Laozi can monopolize everything in Beechburg." Quote. At the same time, on the main ship of the Beast's pirates, thousands of miles away from the Mammoth. Ha chu tilde. Kaido sneezed. His face was full of doubts. Whitebeard that B**************** D and Marine evacuated the Fishman Island. This sudden news made Kaido feel something was wrong. But can't tell what's wrong. After thinking about it, Kaido drank the wine in the flagon in one gulp. Advertisement. In a trance, Kaido seems to have thought of something. Suddenly he laughed loudly and said, "Could it be that you were frightened by what the octopus said? Worororo. That idiot Whitebeard is getting older and more useless." Quote. Compared to Kaido's thoughts that are half thought. On Red Force, the Redheads reacted to the sudden withdrawal of Marine and Whitebeard. Conducted a comprehensive analysis. After all, Whitebeard in his eyes. It is absolutely impossible to feel intimidated by the dialogue between Xinjiang and Huang Da. It's not like that man's character. Could it be because some unknown events happened? In a trance, the Redhead suddenly remembered Ace. Hastily asked, "Any updates from Blackbeard and Ace?" "Boss, Ace had a big fight with Blackbeard not long ago. But there has been no news of those two since then." Words fall. Beckman on the side seemed to think of something. Unhurriedly, he took out a crumpled newspaper from his pocket. A quick glance at the contents of the newspaper. Beckman frowned suddenly. "Keep your eyes peeled for the section about Blackbeard becoming 7 warlords of the sea. I think I know why Whitebeard and Marine are so eager to leave." "Really?" The Redhead snatched the paper from Beckman. Looking at the picture of Blackbeard in the newspaper. The Redhead was silent for a long time before slowly opening his mouth and saying, "Ace is probably caught by Blackbeard. You know, because of the appearance of Bikini Bottom. As a result, forces all over the world are on their way to the Fishman Island. If no one comes forward to stop, there will be a shocking battle with Bikini Bot." Thinking of what Xingzong said about Bikibao's combat effectiveness, the Redhead suddenly felt a headache. But at this juncture, Ace got caught again, according to Whitebeard's character. "I will definitely not let it go. Things are getting out of control." Seeing the tangled face with red hair, Beckman hesitated for 2 seconds and asked, "Advertisement. Should we continue to the Fishman Island or return?" "Go on to the Fishman Island." After the red hair thought for a moment, his eyes gradually became firm. "Clashes between Whitebeard and Marine won't erupt so quickly for now. It's just that we have to hurry up." Words fall. The Redhead raised his head slowly. Putting his gaze on the curtain, he murmured, "I hope everything is still in time." Quote. At the same time, inside Beechburg, after learning the news that Lord will not be returning to Beechburg for the time being, a touch of disappointment and regret clearly appeared on Xingzong's face. But soon he adjusted his mentality. After telling Huang Deer the location of Kai Xing, Xingzong took Aokiji to a clothing store. "Aren't we going to find the ruler? Why are you shopping for clothes?" Regarding Xingzong's behavior, Aokiji was very puzzled. After all, he still wanted to see the ruler earlier. In this way, the misunderstanding can be resolved as soon as possible. So get out of Bikini Bottom safely. If not, then only extreme measures are taken. Forcibly kill a bloody path. However, the feasibility of that is relatively low. So Aokiji is not going to take any chances. "Yeah, what are you anxious about?" Xingzong tugged at his sleeves, with disgust in his eyes. "The Lord is about to return. I don't want to wear this old clothes to see him. This is a blasphemy against that adult. Profanity, do you understand?" "Forget it, I just don't understand seeing you like this." A series of talk cannons can't fix Aokiji. But Xingzong didn't give him a chance to refute. Stepping into the clothing store without looking back. "Where's my brother Zhang? Go ask him to come out. I want to order 100 suits." Chapter 26 Ancient texts were discovered in Beechburg. M can't sit still. "Where's my brother Zhang? Go ask him to come out. I want to order 100 suits." As soon as this remark came out, the staff in the clothing store were all taken aback. However, when he saw the person coming, the doubts on everyone's faces were instantly replaced by joy. "It's Master Xingzong. Master Xingzong, can I have an autograph? Master Xingzong, can you take a photo with me? Master Xingzong." Quote. Just for a moment, the staff and customers in the store surrounded Xingzong completely. Quote. Xingzong frowned helplessly. There was a little impatience in the lazy tone. "Yeah, you guys are so enthusiastic." As he spoke, he casually pointed to Aokiji beside him. Continued, "This is my assistant, go to him if you need anything. Also, please help me to call my useless brother." Thanks, Xingzong said, squeezed through the crowd, leaving Aokiji reluctantly confronting the crazy Beechburg residents. Looking at Xingzong, who was lying on the rocking chair with a relaxed expression on his face. The corner of Aokiji's mouth twitched. I can't wait to rush up and flatten him with a stride. Just when Aokiji was planning something, a slightly familiar sneer suddenly came from the corridor. Foo 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 foo, isn't this the seafood Admiral Green Patch? Why do you have the time to think of my incompetent brother? Before Xingzong could speak, Brother Zhang deliberately acted like I understand you. He was the first to interrupt and said, Shish, let me guess first. Brother Zhang said, while walking towards the direction where Xingzong is. Immediately afterwards, Brother Zhang put his hands on Xingzong's shoulders. He laughed without any concealment. Is it because you are old and want to retire to the second line? Foo 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 foo, but shouldn't you ask that guy Huang Deer for this kind of thing? You know, I'm not interested in your title at all. Of course, if you beg me to be a seafood admiral, it's not that I can't consider sacrificing myself. Foo 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 foo. After listening to what Brother Zhang said, there was no emotion on Xingzong's face. Instead, he retorted very flatly. Such a low-level aggressive method should not be used anymore. Because you can't irritate me like this, it will only make me think you are very childish and boring. Is it boring? Brother Zhang spread his hands. Advertisement. The smile on the face is even bigger. I think it's pretty good. Who asked you to ask me for something? Talking. Brother Zhang suddenly let out a light snort, looking at Aokiji with a curious look on his face. Then he laughed loudly and said, Foo 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 foo, Xingzong, you are really getting worse and worse. I found such an ugly guy as my assistant. Quote. Aokiji didn't want to interfere with the affairs between Xingzong and his brothers. After all, he is just an outsider. In addition to the reason for this matter. It has nothing to do with him. But in front of this octopus dressed like Doflamingo. It is so infuriating, but out of courtesy and helplessness. Aokiji didn't get angry in public. He just said with a blank face. Hey, can you be more respectful when you speak? First of all, I am not Xingzong's assistant. Actually. Without waiting for Aokiji to vent his anger, Brother Zhang seemed to have seen something rare. He glanced at Aokiji strangely. Then he came to Xingzong with a sneer and said. What a surprise, Xingzong. If that's what you're begging me to do. Then I'm really sorry for this business. See a visitor out. Deportation order issued. Store staff. The attitude towards Aokiji and Xingzong. Immediately, earth-shaking changes took place. Master Xingzong, please leave. See this situation. Aokiji's anger dissipated instantly. He never thought that the octopus named Brother Zhang would actually use himself as a gunman. Looking at Xingzong lying expressionlessly on the rocking chair, Aokiji couldn't help feeling a little guilty, just when he was about to leave with Xingzong. But Xingzong stood up slowly, and put the tentacles on Brother Zhang's shoulders. With a smile on his face, he said, what if I say I ordered this suit because of that lord? When the voice fell to the ground, Brother Zhang originally had a condescending attitude. It was like a deflated ball in an instant. Hey, this is not a joke. Do you think I'm joking with you? Xingzong said while walking outside. If my lord blames me for this old dress, Brother Zhang, you are ready to bear my anger. Just when Xingzong half stepped out of the gate. Advertisement. Brother Zhang frowned and snorted coldly. This time it's for the sake of that lord. But next time, I will definitely trample your ridiculous dignity on the ground. Come up with me. Quote. Brother Zhang went upstairs angrily after saying this harsh word. Seems to have noticed Aokiji's puzzled expression. Xingzong explained with a cold snort. That guy's temperament has been like this since he was a child. Especially after becoming the costume queen of Bikini Bottom, she became even more defiant. Chattering, Aokiji followed Aoki to the room at the end of the second floor. As soon as the door was opened, Aokiji was attracted by the countless trophies in front of him. Certainly, it wasn't the trophy that caught his attention. It's the words engraved on the trophy. Because he always felt like he had seen these words somewhere. Historical text. Although there are indeed words like those in the historical text. But it feels a little different from the text in the historical text. It seems that Aokiji is very interested in these trophies. Brother Zhang spread his hands and said with disdain. These trophies are antiques that were acquired hundreds of years ago. It's not impossible if you want to see others. Certainly. Before Brother Zhang finishes speaking, Aokiji shook his head without hesitation, and said bluntly. I'm not interested in the trophy, I'm just interested in the words on it. Word. When hearing this word, the way Brother Zhang looked at Aokiji changed subtly. At the same time, a bold idea came into my mind. But without any basis. Brother Zhang didn't say it out. Instead, he asked with a smile on his face. Isn't that my name? Don Quixote de Frangongo. What? Is there something wrong? Or, you're not from Bikini Bottom at all. That's why I can't even recognize the most basic characters of Beechburg. Faced with Brother Zhang's constant questioning, there was no wave on Aokiji's face. On the contrary, those outsiders who have been in contact with the main text of history. 5 elders, etc. At this time, he was staring at the words engraved on the trophy. At the same time, somewhere in the capital of water, See Robin staring at the words. Nami asked curiously. Robin, can you understand the text? Chapter 27 Ancient texts are exposed, Robin's fear. Robin, can you understand the text? Facing Nami's inquiry. Robin just shook his head with a smile on his face. Although on the surface Robin doesn't seem to be any different. But thoughtful Nami, but I always feel that Robin definitely has something to hide from me. However, out of trust between partners, Nami didn't ask too much. Instead, he set his sights on the curtain again. Screen. Aokiji, who revealed his identity, felt nothing at all. After all, he planned to go to the ruler to resolve the misunderstanding. In addition, there is Qing Zhang explaining on the side. Brother Zhang didn't embarrass Aokiji anymore. Instead, he continued to discuss the dress with Qingzong. As for Aokiji, it was out of curiosity about the ancient characters of Beechburg. Then looked around up. As more and more ancient characters appear on the screen. People all over the world are talking about it. What kind of text is that? It seems too abstract. I don't understand at all. I don't know how long those two guys will continue to discuss. If Aokiji Admiral keeps hanging around like this, I feel like I'm going to fall asleep. I seem to have seen these words somewhere. Idiot, stop joking. That's the text of Beechburg. Could it be that you want to say that you have been in Beechburg? Hey, you can't say that. I've seen such writing on a big rock. I seem to have seen it before. At first, I thought it was engraved by someone who was idle. I didn't expect this to be the text of Beechburg. This is simply unbelievable. Quote. As the discussion gradually spread to all parts of the world. Water capital, looking at the text appearing on the screen. Robin's eyes trembled slightly. His eyes are full of fear. Why did you release these words? Robin's mentality gradually began to collapse. Even the text on the screen. Nothing to do with blank 100 years of history. But as the picture keeps changing, no one can guarantee what will happen next. Will there be related texts that record the blank history? After all, Bikini Castle existed thousands of years ago. Although Robin's lifelong wish is to find the lost history of 100 years. But not this time. It's not easy to have a group of partners who are willing to protect themselves. It's hard to have the thought of living. She didn't want to because of these words. And lose it all. However, all this is just Robin's fantasy. Because she knew that after these words were exposed. Advertisement. What an impact it will have on her. At that time, perhaps there is no chance of even lingering to survive. Because of world government, she will never be allowed to live in this world. By the time, the world government will definitely send a large number of top powerhouses to hunt down and kill them. Even the highest combat power of naval headquarters and world government. It may all be involved. Thinking of this, a flash of determination flashed in Robin's eyes. At this time, Luffy seemed to sense something was wrong. Stretching his head and leaning in front of Robin. With a puzzled face, he said, Robin, you are so weird tilde. Did something happen? The rest of the people also came over when they heard the sound. Robin Chan's tangled appearance is so cute tilde. Shut your mouth, horny kappa. Robin, is something going on? Speak out if you have anything, we are partners. Quote. In the face of people's inquiries and concerns. Robin didn't pay attention. Instead, with a gloomy face. The tone is cold and said, shut up, you stinky pirates. From now on, I will no longer be a Straw Hat crew. Words fall. Luffy withdrew his head, with a blank face. That's why I said you're weird, Robin. Why did you get so angry all of a sudden? Besides, before Luffy finished speaking, Robin slapped Luffy's face. Angrily said, get out, you gang of stinky pirates. I never want to see you guys again. Can't you understand what I'm saying? I hate pirates the most. In the end, to keep the tears from falling. Robin turned and left without hesitation. Because she knew in her heart. If you continue to stay with the Straw Hat Pirates. Not only herself, all the guys involved with her. They can't escape the full pursuit of the world government. In a deserted corner, Robin couldn't control his emotions anymore. Tears can't stop flowing down. Why? Why give me hope of living? Advertisement. Do you want to plunge me into endless despair again? Am I really the son of the devil? Please, who can help me? I just want to live. This moment, Robin's heart was completely plunged into darkness. That's renewed hope. Fall again into the ultimate darkness of despair. So that the ancient text she is most interested in. At this moment, there is no desire to continue to investigate. And all this is just as Robin expected. 5 elders, after seeing those words. Everyone's heart trembled. Urgently contact the Marine headquarters. Ask Sengoku to kill the screen. However, it was told by Sengoku. Marine can't stop the outside screen. Only news of the world can do that. Although Sengoku knows those words well, it will have a great impact on the world government. But he didn't say that he was able to contact Aokiji. Because in that case, Aokiji is bound to die. At this time, the 5 elders had already been devastated by the ancient text. After learning that Marine cannot terminate the screen. Then he aimed his gun directly at the News of the World newspaper office. Notify SOCP Cipher Pole. Take half of the people out to search for the whereabouts of Morgans. We must never let these words spread out again. At this time, a frosty voice sounded from the phone bug. Beechburg, Nico Robin, everyone who knows the historical text. Not one can be let go. While the sound is sounding, a trace of cold sweat broke out on Five Elders' forehead. Hastily knelt down on the ground. Said in unison. Obey, my lord. Quote. At the same time, in the depths of Pangu City. On the void throne, looking at the text appearing on the screen. Even I am, the king of the world. At this moment, I can't bear the killing intent gushing out from the bottom of my heart. This world, no need for any existence that can endanger the world government. While the voice sounded, a gleam of light shone on a sharp dagger. And below the dagger, its two pictures of being pierced by a dagger. Respectively Bikini Bottom, with Nico Robin. Chapter 28 Beechburg's #1 Swordsman. The forces of all parties are ready to move, aiming at the capital of water. Chapter 28 Beechburg's #1 Swordsman. The forces of all parties are ready to move, aiming at the capital of water. South Blue, Crystal Island. As Bikini Bot's texts frequently appear in the public eye, the surrounding people expressed their opinions on this. A heated argument ensued, in contrast to Al, standing in place like a stone statue. It seems that he has no interest in these things. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host, thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host, thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host for getting the Bikini Bot material character X1. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. Looking at the congratulatory reminder that can't be seen. Al can't wait to smash the system to pieces. This is already his 364th 10-game streak. A total of 582,400 mysterious points were consumed. However, so far, he only drew 3 props. To say that you are Mihuyu, who developed Suhuo, is flattering you. After grumbling secretly in my heart, Al angrily quit the lottery page. Opened the system store, looking at the remaining 354,130 mysterious points. Al couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. A picture appeared in my mind. This is a big gamble, my friend. Close black lens bracket. Losing sucks, friend. Close black lens bracket. Quote. Although I do have a little regret. But it was quickly washed away by the continuous stream of mysterious points. But Al doesn't plan to gamble anymore in a short time. Instead, I plan to save up to buy props. Glancing at the props lined up on the shelf, Al quickly locked on to the target. Beach bot character material X5. Mysterious points required are 1 million. Close black lens bracket. I have an idea in my heart. Al then exited the system store, so as not to be deceived again. Just when Al was planning to create characters to continue earning mysterious points, but unexpectedly found that the frequency of obtaining mysterious points is decreasing. With doubts, Al exits the system, meowing at the constantly shaking picture on the curtain. I can't help but have an idea that needs to be verified. Although he couldn't understand what the words meant. But, as we all know, advertisement. The world government has been covering up the truth of history. If the text in the screen accidentally exposes the secrets of the world government, that will inevitably lead to the full pursuit of the world government. And so far, only a small fraction of people are known to be able to read historical texts. If this hypothesis can be established, thinking of this, the goal in Al's heart gradually became clear. Since the internal pictures of Beechburg cannot be exposed for the time being, then call out those guys who haven't appeared in the public eye. In this case, not only can you earn mystery points, it can also deter those who try to attack Beechburg. Let me think. The one closest to me now should be Robin from the City of Water, right? But she is so weak now. I don't know if the world government will send strong people over. Forget it, leave him alone, as much as he can earn. As long as she doesn't run away, Al thought in his mind. While pushing away the crowded crowd, he walked towards a place where there was no one. Came to a clearing. Al took a handful of pebbles casually. Then used the ability of sparkling fruit to step on small stones to fly in the air. On the way to the City of Water, Al wasn't idle either. Just glanced at the obtained character material. Al quickly had an idea. It's up to you, the #1 swordsman in the world in Beechburg. Quote. At the same time, New World, somewhere on an unknown island. Report to the president, something is wrong. Our people got the message. The minions of the world government are divided into 2 teams. One team appears to be continuing on to the Fishman Island. And the other team is scattered towards the islands. Its purpose seems to be to find the location of the headquarters. After listening to the report of his subordinates, Morgan seemed to have expected it. With a wave of his hand, he said solemnly. Give me some peace. The world government hasn't come to your door yet. Are you so scared? Talking. Morgan subconsciously glanced at the screen being played. There was a smile on the corner of his mouth. The more anxious the world government is. Advertisement. This also means the success of the big news. Anyway, the picture must be kept uninterrupted. While Morgans was giving an impassioned speech, after a reporter read a letter, suddenly his face changed drastically. President, the latest news. All members of CP0, minions of the world government. Under the leadership of the Knights of God, the Spark Knights. Towards the Grand Line, the target seems to be the capital of water. It seems that something is wrong. After the reporter checked the text carefully, the original nervousness disappeared in an instant. Cut. Scared me, I thought I found the location of the headquarters. Words fall, just when the reporter was about to throw away the letter. Morgan snatched it from him first, and asked, "Are the Straw Hat crew who declared war on the world government a few days ago still in the water capital?" Faced with Morgan's sudden inquiry, after thinking for a few seconds, the reporter replied. "Straw Hat crew. Those guys don't seem to have left the water capital yet." "President, why are you asking this?" Morgans did not answer. Instead, he rubbed his chin to analyze the current situation. As a distant country that existed thousands of years ago, Beechburg. There are not many secrets known to the world at present. But the current signs of the world government. They all express a point of view. That is world government. Fear the Bikini Bottoms will expose their cover-up secrets. And people who are known to be able to read ancient characters. Except for some very hidden guys. There is only one Nico Robin left in the public eye. Keen intuition. Let Morgan smell a breath of big news. After all, it's just a weak Nico Robin. It's not enough for the world government to take it so seriously. Could it be that there are other powerful forces trying to capture Nico Robin? Thinking of this, Morgans couldn't help but get excited. Immediately ordered, "Little ones, we have to leave this island. Target, the capital of water. I feel that there will be even more sensational big news there." Chapter 29 Kick Off. The Great War stirring up the world. Water capital. Watching Robin's figure gradually disappear from sight, Sanji relighted a cigarette, asked very seriously. "Hey, Captain, what's next?" Before Luffy could speak, Chopper standing beside him was the first to speak. "What else can I do? Of course I got Robin back. She's our partner, right Luffy?" Luffy, seeing Luffy standing there sullenly, Chopper couldn't help feeling a little impatient. Tugging at Luffy's trousers, asked the same question over and over again. The rest saw this. They also came to Luffy one after another. A long time, seems to be annoyed by the crowd, or a sudden epiphany. Luffy threw up his arms suddenly, let out an unwilling roar. "Robin, no matter who drags you into the darkness again, I will definitely blow them all away. Can you hear me? Robin, quote. Hearing the roar in the distance, Robin, who was hiding in the corner, couldn't help but tremble. But she didn't respond to Luffy's determination again, but plunged into the darkness of the heart, and the despair before death. At the same time, Pangu City, in the Hall of Power. 5 elders stared at the words that kept appearing on the screen. Beads of sweat trickled down his forehead onto the ground. At this time I can't wait to rush to Aokiji immediately. Smash camera phone bugs to pieces. Damn it, can't the B************ D Aokiji calm down a bit? Topman Waukyu Lishung snorted coldly. The words are full of dissatisfaction with what Aokiji has done. After all, as Marine Admiral, it is impossible for Aokiji not to know how much impact those words will have on the world government. But Aokiji guy, advertisement, not only to expose these words in front of the world openly. Walk around without any worries. If Brother Zhong's office really stores secret things about world government, and it was accidentally announced by Aokiji, that will definitely deal a heavy blow to the status of the world government for 800 years. Is there no news about that stinky mouse in Morgan's? The scope of the search has been expanded. I believe it won't take long to find the headquarters of that B*********************. D. Hope our concerns are just a joke. This joke is not funny, Topman Wobalison. Don't forget Lord Im's attitude towards this incident. Of course I know. Topman Wobalison glanced disapprovingly at Marcus Mawson. But things are almost beyond the control of the world government. If you can't cut off the screen before it's out of control, I think everyone here knows what's going to happen. Words fall. The Hall of Power suddenly fell into silence. No one seems to want to continue this topic. A long time. Seeing that the atmosphere has eased a little, after a moment of hesitation, Jagarcia Satinson slowly opened the mouth and said, "Where is the Spark Knight guy now?" See topic shift. Then the rest of the 5 elders spoke. According to the news that has just come back, the guy has arrived at Marine headquarters now. It is expected to arrive in the water capital in about 3 days. With the voice falling, 5 elders' complexion gradually softened a little. In none of the good news for the world government. This can be regarded as the only good news. Marcus Mawson thinks for a moment. Then speak out your thoughts. Although Nico Robin is the guy appointed by Master IM. But since we have invested a lot of strong people in it, it's better to just go all out. Show the world the attitude of the world government towards this incident. As soon as this remark came out, instantly got the approval of all 5 elders. As the highest authority of the world government, 5 elders naturally clear. In this world, Nico Robin is definitely not the only one who knows ancient texts. But so far, the guy exposed to the public eye, just Nico Robin. And this is also the best goal of the world government. With ideas and decisions, advertisement, 5 elders expressed their views one after another. Contact Marine. Let that guy Sengoku stay with some troops. All the rest will be thrown into the water capital. This time, I want to make it clear to those who want to subvert the world government. Consequences of fighting against the world government. There is only one dead end. Quote. Does 7 warlords of the sea need to forcibly recruit people? Whitebeard hasn't made a big deal yet. But just in case, let's pass on the compulsory call-up order first. As for those guys who are not far from the water land, let them go to the water capital together. Quote. After a heated discussion, 5 elders looked at the selected photos on the desktop. Can't help showing an expression that is bound to win. Knights of the Gods. Spark Knights. All CP0 staff. 7 warlords of the sea. Hawkeye Mahawk, Bartholomew Kuma. After finalizing the dispatch personnel list, 5 elders classified the incident as top secret. And CP0 Cipher Pole personally communicated the order to Sengoku. Naval headquarters. In the office where Sengoku belongs. Looking at the encrypted file just sent by the world government, Sengoku couldn't help frowning, although he also knows the intention of world government to do so. But spend a lot of unnecessary troops to go to the water capital to round up Nico Robin. In his opinion, it is a very stupid thing, even though Whitebeard has been quiet since returning home. But just because there is no movement, Sengoku will be more worried. Because he knew Whitebeard's work, he will definitely not be the kind of guy who is thunderous and rainy. But the world government has issued a mandatory order. Even though Sengoku was very reluctant. But you can only do it. Think for a moment. Sengoku immediately selected several places to go to the water capital. Marine Alternate Admiral. T-Pig, Momosugi. Marine Vice Admiral. Flying Squirrel, Fire Mountain, Doberman, Ghost Spider, Stallo Berry. After finalizing the deployment of the troops to be dispatched, Sengoku's frown deepened, immediately ordered Akainu and others to quickly return to Naval Headquarters Defense. Chapter 30 Lao Sha is released from prison, the Red Hair invites Rayleigh to come out. Undersea prison Impel Down, with the continuous influx of outside news. The prisoners in eternal hell no longer clung to Lao Sha. Instead, he unscrupulously analyzed the direction of the external situation. Especially when talking about the similarity between the characters of Beechburg and the ancient characters. The entire eternal hell is even more restless, as the secret covered up by the world government about to be exposed. It's a pity that I can't go out and witness the destruction of the world government. Let Laozi out quickly. Laozi wants to see those bastards of the world government die with his own eyes. Magellan UB ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* listening to the noisy shouting in my ears. The corner of Lao Sha's mouth is slightly raised. As a person who studies historical texts all the year round, he knows all too well what ancient texts mean to world government. Also know the world government. Anyone who snoops on ancient texts will never be let go. I don't know if Robin is dead. If you don't die. Thinking of this, the smile on Lao Sha's face became brighter and brighter. As long as Robin doesn't die, then the world government will definitely regard Robin as the best candidate to scare chickens and monkeys. It will also be an opportunity for him to get out of Impel Down. With an idea, Lao Sha doesn't intend to sit here and wait to die. However, how to contact the world government? But it has become a big problem for Lao Sha. Because of the particularity of eternal hell. Normally, no jailer would pass by here at all. Unless the prisoner enters the eternal hell, to see the figure of the jailer. While Lao Sha was thinking, the elevator leading to the upper floor made a roaring sound. As the voice grows stronger, the joy in Lao Sha's heart could no longer be suppressed. Laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha. Advertisement. Is this the chosen one? With unbridled laughter, the elevator has also reached the 6th floor. Watching the jailer escorting the prisoner, Lao Sha quickly came to the fence and said coldly. Go tell Magellan that Laozi has something important to tell him. However, the jailer just glanced at Lao Sha. I didn't care about him at all. Turn around and press Ace to go to the empty cell. Seeing the jailer ignoring me, Lao Sha's face instantly darkened a lot. The voice is getting colder and colder. Laozi repeat it again. I have something very important to tell Magellan. If you choose to ignore it, at your own peril. The last sentence Lao Sha pronounced very strongly. But the jailer still didn't want to talk to him. After all, it wasn't the first time they had heard such nonsense. But seeing Lao Sha's tone so serious, the jailer also casually told Magellan about it. After Magellan listened, I didn't even plan to take care of it. But thinking about what happened outside, after some thought. In the end, I decided to go and see what Lao Sha wanted to do. However, after learning of Lao Sha's idea of contacting the world government through him, Magellan rejected Lao Sha's unreasonable request without hesitation. But what Lao Sha said next? But Magellan fell into endless contemplation. I know the world government is definitely after Robin now. And that woman was once my subordinate. No one knows her better than me. After listening to Lao Sha's explanation, Magellan couldn't decide for a moment to pay attention. So I reported this matter to the world government. Pangu City, in the Hall of Power. Regarding what Magellan reported. Advertisement. 5 elders, after some discussion. decided to release Lao Sha from Impel Down. But as a transaction, Lao Sha must obey the arrangements of the world government for the next period of time, until Ace's public execution ends. And Lao Sha also readily agreed to this condition. To be able to get out from Impel Down after all, it's already the best thing ever. The first thing Lao Sha came out of Impel Down, it is to understand the big and small events that have happened in the outside world during this period of time, so as to find the B*********** D who lied about himself. At the same time, the Fishmen Island. Boss, there is new news from the outside world. Beckman came up to the Redhead. With a very serious expression, he said. According to the latest information we have received from Morgans, the world government will send men to the Fishmen Island. A batch has been dispatched to go to the water capital. Words fall. The Redhead seems to have thought of something. He couldn't help frowning, and said in a deep voice. Are Luffy and the others still in the water capital? Beckman did not speak. He just hummed lightly, and then asked. Are we going back home? The Redhead shook his head after thinking for a moment. No, it's too late to rush over now. Contact Deputy Captain Rayleigh, it's up to him to save Luffy now. The hope of the new era must never disappear. Quote. At the same time, Al in flight, slowly opened the panel that created the mysterious legend. Material role. Ruffian boss. Close black lens bracket. Modification in progress. Close black lens bracket.